Hello everyone, welcome to Onyx Earth Tarot. Everything you need to know about me is in the description box below. So we are back with another pick a card reading. It is timeless, and no, it is not love based. If you've been paying attention to the channel, you know that I posted a poll, and as of now, it's only been about a day. Like over 200 of you have voted, so I'm gonna take that as a yes. We're gonna look at this career job reading. Now, cute little thumbnail, it says Matcha Moolah. So hopefully you guys will be in the money soon if you aren't already. And even if you are, hopefully you continue to ascend in your careers. So we're going to take a look to see what's going on right now, what your present energy is with your career, and then we're going to see what is incoming, since that seems to be what the collective would like to see. Now, I'm not going to delay this any further. I am going to hop right into the POW selection. The descriptions are a bit interesting just because I will say they're not very different, but that said, for those of you that are visually impaired, I'm going to do my best. So pile one is like a fuller, richer feather leaf heart, whatever you want to call it. It is a matcha latte, but it is fuller, richer, greener, brighter. Pile two is also a matcha latte. It is kind of bright green, less full, with a full heart around it. And then pile three is a lighter, more feathery, lots of feathers, leaves, with like a hidden heart on the matcha latte. And then pile four is the sharper, more earthy coloring and design with solid leaves and a slight, almost barely visible heart. So I will give you a moment to make your selection. And if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, pile one. So let's see what's going on with your job, your career, where you're headed. I'm just gonna pull the way I normally do. I have my tarot deck. I do have my melanin pop I'm gonna follow with. We have those 3 astrology oracle decks that I have not used together in a while for details. And then I'm gonna give you some advice from the New Orleans oracle at the end. So I am going to, I may pull more cards if I feel necessary. If not, I don't normally need to, but just those of you that may or may not like lots of cards on the tail, we're going to just do whatever we need to do to get these messages. But I don't really think I'll need it. Let's see. Tell me what's going on in my pile one's career. One just flew off the top. Something may be flying away, flying right at you. You may be flying past something that you're not quite paying attention to, because that one flew towards me and hit the floor. Let me grab it. All right. You have the Ace of Feathers. So like I was saying, something is, your mind might be going so quickly that you're missing something. There's something you haven't considered yet, or there's something you haven't seen yet, or there's an opportunity that you need to be patient and let it present itself, okay? Because the Ace of Feathers is a concept, right? It is something in the very, very early stages. It's not even a full thought, right? So it may be very early. So you may have just started a new job. You may be just now getting comfortable in a role, or you may be just beginning training on something that will lead to the career you want. It's a little bit early, okay? That's the energy that I'm getting for a lot of you. And others of you, there's something you're overlooking, and it could be both. It could be both early, but also that you're overlooking. So if it's not early, know for sure that you're in that section of the pile where you're overlooking something. And it says mental clarity and foundation. I also read this card as something that says, do not make any decisions in an energy of uncertainty. If things are unclear, or if you're not sure, or if you're confused, or you don't understand the full terms, if there's any question, the answer is already no. I mean now, I mean in the future. If you reflect on the past, you'll realize you should have done this. But if you are not clear, the answer is no, right? The answer is no, or not right now. Give me time to reflect, okay? But I will say this is a beautiful, fresh energy of a fresh start, of a new beginning, of something It just feels very, very fresh, okay? So I like this energy coming in for you, okay? So like I said, a lot of you here, you're entering something new, right? You have started something new, or coming in for you will be something new, okay? And how you know, it's very easy in this type of reading to see. Like I said, if you've been in something for a long time, for a while, and you're kind of tired of it, something new is coming, right? A new level of inspiration, a new idea, a new role, a new company, a new business, you know, something creative, something new will come in if you've been feeling stale. And again, if you've not been stale, it may be a little too early to say, right? Okay, so let me pull. You get two more, take the bottom. Yeah, oh, okay, they came out together. I'll take this fourth one and we'll look at that as well. But you have the Star, peace and healing. So some of you, your new role will be something that is very like peaceful and healing compared to what you're used to. If you are used to chaos, right? You have an energy of clarity, a foundation of peace and healing coming in. Now, the Star, it is Aquarius energy, so it may be unique. It may be very different from what you are used to doing, right? So the next role you have will likely be, again, something you're not used to doing if you haven't already stepped into this energy, okay? For those of you that are, it's very early and very different from what you've been doing, maybe give it a second. Give it a second, okay? Give yourself time, but also I'm seeing something that you're gonna thrive in, right? It is something associated with 11th house themes of networking, professional organizations, a lot of collaborations, a lot of community service, right? In some instances, possibly technology, could be social media based. I'm just throwing out all of the career paths that are associated with 11th house Aquarius based energy, okay? You can look up the 11th house and Aquarius based energy to see right there. You'll get some themes of what's next for you and see if that aligns as well. But right now, it's an energy you're stepping into that's going to make you a star. Honestly, some of you, what's next in your career, especially if you're business owners, you have an idea coming towards you that will take your business to the next level, okay? Or you have an idea that will take your business to the next level. There's something coming in, whether it's here and you haven't acted on it, or you will be inspired soon, that's going to take your business to the next level. Some of you will be inspired to start a fresh career, right? The Aquarius based energy, you know, tied to this Star, the planet Uranus is also the card of the Fool, right? Fresh starts, new beginnings, right? But this will be an energy of recognition. You have recognition coming in, right? Because the Star is not just hope, it's not just wish fulfillment, because it is like a dream job. This combination feels like a dream job, you guys. I'm loving this for you, but I just feel like an air of calm over this pile. If you are in chaos, it will not be that way for very long, okay? Especially if it's early, okay? If it's like learning, like a learning curve, or you know what I mean, like those early stages, growing pains, it won't be that way for much longer. Once you find your footing, you'll be fine. But again, if you're in chaos and you're looking to move, to shift, the next space will be very, very positive, very healing, very peaceful, lots of recognition, lots of praise. You'll be very gifted at it. It will be something you're naturally gifted at. Okay, it won't be something you have to work very hard at. So even in those growing pains, those learning pains, it won't be something that doesn't align and doesn't resonate with you. Okay, so that's another differentiator for those of you where you're like, well, you're saying it's too early, time is limitless. How do I know? If it's not something that's fulfilling you, then you know it's not necessarily that it's too early, right? If you took a leap of faith on something you really want to do, you really feel passionate about, right? And it's early stages and you're just trying to learn and assimilate into a system, that's just growing pains. If you are in a role, a situation, a business that is not making you feel passion anymore, it's time to be open and receptive to new, fresh, innovative ideas, something that you wouldn't have normally thought about on your own. This is giving me an epiphany. Okay, there's an epiphany that has occurred or is coming in for you, Pile One, that's going to tell you exactly where you need to go to to be fulfilled, okay? And then your third card here is the Three of Shells. It says playfulness and bliss. So the career path, business, job, whatever it is for you, Pile 1, that is coming in or that you've just stepped into. Again, I want to repeat it because I know you guys get confused with this collective energy, finding yourself. If you are in a new role and it's something you've always wanted, and you're still passionate about the work and it may be difficult because you're learning and you're trying to assimilate, give yourself time to become this star. It's too early. But if you started something new and you realize that it's not fulfilling you, you're not feeling like playful, you're not feeling peace, it's time to be open to something else, right? Because especially if those of you have had a dream job for a while and you've gotten it and you feel like it may not necessarily be fulfilling you or it's not something that you want, it's time to open up to ideas and concepts that you do not have the capacity to just kind of consciously think of on your own, right? Just be open to spirit so that you can be inspired to try something that historically maybe you wouldn't have, right? Or you wouldn't have realized that it was a path for you, okay? Yeah, Six of Feathers, moving on. It says transition and insight. Lots of thinking and feeling for this pile, and that's going to be the hugest themes, right? Your thoughts will be driven by your emotions, right? Your decisions are going to be emotionally driven. Not in the sense that you're not using logic, right? I did say if things are not clear, you don't decide, you don't do anything, you don't move without being certain. But that said, it's not going to be just a mental decision. It's going to be just a gut feeling. It's going to be your heart space. It's going to be what moves you and makes you feel fulfilled where you go next, okay? Because I will say the majority of you in this pile are going somewhere next. Like I said, there's that minimal group of you where you're just in, you're a little scared. It's what you want to do, but you know, you're feeling a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Discouraged because it's so early and you're trying to learn and all of those things, okay? Give it time, right? Give yourself time to comprehend, to understand, okay? But beyond that group, I do see you moving away. I do see you moving away from something that is not bringing you peace, from something that is not getting you recognition and respect, from something that's not giving you a healthy team environment. Because the Three of Shells is a friendship, it's a celebratory, it's breaking bread, it's having drinks with friends. If you are not in a space where you are respected and you're getting recognition for your work, and where you're not in an environment that is collaborative, where maybe the people don't like you, then you will be moving on, okay? Or you should be, because that is what Spirit is saying. But I do see this as incoming energy for those of you, right? That inspiration of I can be more and happier and more fulfilled elsewhere. Okay, Three of Feathers, exactly. A lot of you, that's either past or current energy, right? That Three of Feathers. Some of you are very deeply attached to where you are currently, right? Maybe there's a lot of time, a lot of energy. With the Ace of Feathers, it could be like where you first got your start. Some of you, these may be companies where you literally, especially if you're feeling stale, this may be a company that this may have been your first job and you've ascended and maybe you are the star now, but it's not what you want to be doing, right? And now it's like, where do I go next? You have this transition of the Six of Feathers, something that will be more spiritually, mentally, and emotionally enriching. I'm using, I don't know, that's not a word. It's going to be some enrichment. The word I heard as I was trying to speak, because I do channel messages, I'm hearing the word enrichment as I'm trying to complete my sentence. So that's what it is. But the word enrichment will be key themes in your next era. And I feel so much peace and calm and just pleasure and joy. I love this for you, Power One. It's going to be great. It will be scary because the Three of Feathers, it is a release. It is a recovery. It's kind of a bit of a traumatic ending. It is painful because you have so much emotional attachment to this place, especially with the Three of Shells. Like, you may have like a lot of your friends at this workplace, at this company, or you know, you built this company or you started this business with your friends, and you know, like you put a lot of love into it, but it's no longer fulfilling to you, right? And so it's time to transition, and I feel like you're already aware of that. A lot of you may just be kind of avoiding it because of that Three of Feathers. That painful ending could be to those business partnerships, those contracts, those connections, you know, to part of your identity, because it feels like with the Ace of Feathers, those of you that are the dominant energy of being stale in a situation, it feels like you've been there so long, you associate it with your identity, which technically is unhealthy. So it's already time to move around just for that reason alone, because no business, no external thing is you. You do this thing. You are a part of this thing externally, but it is not you at your core. And the next era of your career, of your business, is going to be something that allows you to figure out who you are, if you don't know already, at your core. If you are aware of yourself, your identity, you'll be able to express that more freely, more passionately. You'll have more time for it in this next stage. So let me, because I know we talked about now versus then. I get a lot of you are in a very like, you know, on the extremist sense, it's a toxic work environment. I'm not gonna lie, right? And you're either realizing it or you've realized it and you're just trying to power through, because again, the star is a spotlight. It's a lot of attention, right? The Three of Feathers is something that has a lot of pain associated with it. It's like heartbreak, literally heartbreak. But again, the star is a lot of attention, for better, for worse, because again, with it being networking and social media, it could be a lot of gossip. Three of Shells could technically be gossip as well. It's friends, you know, it's all of those things. But again, some of you, I can see that a place where you are, your friends left, people you were closest to left, and it's no longer fulfilling to you because of that. Like, you're still there and it's new people, and it's not necessarily what it once was, and that's creating some heartbreak for you as well, right? Adjusting to that change. That's a mixed bag. If you like, if it's new people and they seem positive, give it a shot. It's still falling in that too early. If it's new people and it's become painful, then it is what it is. It's time to transition with that Six of Feathers, because that Six of Feathers is either a transition of physically moving on, and at the bottom of your reset, you've got community, of physically moving on to another career path or business, or changing your mentality and growing and evolving with this new team. I will say, regardless of what your role is incoming, okay, even if this is what you've been doing, your new role coming in will be highly collaborative. At least 3 people on a team, okay? Highly collaborative environment. So if you're not very social, that's something maybe you need to be opening up to, because the star, again, public energy, not necessarily like spotlight, like Leo energy. It's Aquarius. It's unique teams, unique. It's like those indie, maybe a startup, right? Or like a unique work environment. Like some places are like 4 days a week now, like something different and trendy about it. That's not like your conventional career. It could be leaving a traditional 9-to-5 to start a business if that's what you've been called to do. But it's also, again, that networking, that social professionalism, collaborating, dinner, drinks with people, okay? Very social environment, especially if you're not used to that with the Three of Feathers, okay? So let me get from the melanin pop. Tell me more about where my pile one is currently versus where they're going, okay? I will say, I love this for you that have come from that extremist sense, that toxic environment, because it's going to be like a complete 180. It's the complete opposite of where you've been historically or are currently. It's going to be great, okay? And those of you where you kind of need to let go of what used to be, yeah, that's that adaptive energy. Those of you that need to let go of where you used to be, of the energy of a place that no longer exists, right? Like, again, I'm talking about those of you where people have moved on, or and you're still there, and there's changes to processes, and like, you're like, no, this is what I'm used to. If you can't change, maybe it is time to transition to another, you know, company or something, because I'm seeing here an energy of resistance to a certain degree, where you're not in necessarily a toxic environment. You're creating one a little bit because you're so set on your ways. You're set on the concepts that were from day one in some instances. And you're creating, you know, pain and heartache for the other people because in a collaborative environment, because you're ready to move on, but you haven't, right? You haven't, because you're stuck and you're set in, you know, again, you're clinging to the past. You're clinging to the energy of what this place, what this energy, this business once was, especially if it is your business, especially if it is something you started with your friends, right? Okay, but I do have this androgyny card, which is ambiguity, sexual identity, gender expression, and style. And I'm not reading that in a traditional sense at all. This could be an identifier for some of you. I know I have a lot of a variety of different people and expressions on this channel, but for professional purposes, I'm seeing a need to assimilate, a need to collaborate, a need to be flexible. And also those of you where we're talking about day one, possibly like your first job, or you've just been there for so long, associating your own personal identity with this place, which is so unhealthy. Okay, I'm not judging you. I'm saying the healthiest thing will be to just rip the band-aid off and to find something new, because you're identifying too much with this place to the point where you're not even being fulfilled in other areas of your life, because you've attached yourself to an entity outside of yourself. Like, it's almost like a good analogy, not to scare you, would be kind of like possession, like, right? Like a demonic possession almost. Like, and that's so extreme. Please don't take that literally. But it's like, you've merged yourself with something that is not you, to the point where it's an unhealthy attachment. Okay, that's what we're getting. So we're needing to be flexible, we're needing to be adaptive here, Power One, especially when we have that Ace of Feathers, right? We're talking about an energy of epiphanies, right? An epiphany. We're talking about adapting to something new. We're talking about a whole new way of living. This is bigger than career. Power One is bigger than career. Power One is talking about a new way of life. Like, whatever the next career is for you, you're going to be living a new way of life, a much more fulfilled one, a much more enriched one. Okay. But there's going to be if you haven't been inspired already to do something completely different, completely unique, that you couldn't, at least a month ago, you wouldn't have even fathomed that this would be something you would do. That's what's coming in. Or it doesn't even have to be so that dramatic. Some of you will be. It could just very well be a unique spin, right? Aquarius is unique energy. It is shocks and surprises, ruled by the planet of Uranus. It may be surprising spin on something you've already been doing, right? Like, I never thought to take this approach, right? Whether we're talking about in building your own business or side hustle, or if we're talking about, your job search, right? I will say, this energy, and I'm realizing now that this individual here has some like gray streaks. So my more advanced, I like that word for older people, more mature individuals, some of you are delaying retirement, right? Whether it's fear of security, whatever, I see that. Okay, and when I say retirement, I mean like transitioning, because again, regardless of age, some of you are transitioning career paths, others of you are just transitioning from the workforce to freelance, to maybe part-time, or to traveling, right? Six of Feathers is traveling, to being a free spirit. You've done all you need to do, but you're so emotionally attached to what you were doing because you loved it so much, because this is an energy of something you love. So if you have a history of something you love, that's what's making it so difficult for you to move on. Okay? But I'm telling you, on the other side of that door, on the other side of that river, on the Six of Feathers, is something you'll love even more. Yes, endings are painful, but there's a new beginning that is going to be much more fulfilling than the current space you're in, because you're kind of clinging to an energy that no longer exists. And also, what is that? Yeah, let me pull more cards. I don't know. It got really quiet. Yeah, clinging to energy that no longer exists. Do you remember, right? At the bottom, your reset, memories, past lives, karmic, soulmates, reminiscing. Some of you, the energy, the place, the people around you are karmic energy. You were meant to be there for a season, short, long, however. And now it's time. That season has ended, right? Okay, so let me see. Tell me more about my pile one and their career. So if we're confused about the present state of the energy, don't be. You're either in a toxic environment, right, and need to move on, dominant energy first, or you're kind of almost might be creating a toxic environment because you're clinging to the past, right? You're unhappy, right? Whether you've been there too long, or it's not for you and you're ready to move on. Or if And then that other side is where you've started something that you're passionate about, right? Just started recently within the last couple of months, several months, whatever early is to you, and you're passionate about it, but the learning curve or the growing pains, like the processes, the systemic aspect of it has been a little bit of a challenge, but you love the creative elements of it, maybe. I'm hearing that for some of you. Give it time. And then those of you where you started something new and it's not really what you're wanting, like it's not fulfilling you. You thought it was something that would fulfill you. It was meant to be seasonal. Some of you it was energy of healing and just to give you help you find a sense of self and joy again so that you can transition. Some of you are in very temporary situations, okay? And you'll know who you are when I'm saying that. So let me yeah, look at that. I love that so much that came out. Where you're headed, you're much bigger than where you are regardless. Okay? So those of you in that minority that I don't want to lose you in the pile because you're not the dominant energy. You just started it. You're passionate about it, but it's hard, right? Nobody said it was going to be easy, but you want to do it. You will be a star. Once you adapt, once you assimilate, you will be a star doing this thing. You're way too passionate and talented at it. Just don't let the systemic aspect of it throw you off. Learn the technical aspects of the role, okay, or your business, right? Like some of you, for example, if you're an artist and you started your own business, right? And the business and the politics is throwing you off, suck it up, okay? I don't mean to be aggressive about it, but suck it up. You have a lot. Or if it is truly overwhelming for you, you have a lot of support around you in this minority group of this is passion, but it's hard. You have people, 3 of shells, that's people, the star, that is the network, right? You have people around you that can help you, okay? Rely on them or find them. You may find them soon if they're not already around, okay? And then those of you where we are talking about the other side of that minority where you took a leap of faith, it's something you've always wanted to do, but it's not for you. Where you're headed, the star and performer. Look at that. And this is for all of you in the pile, right? You're gonna have this energy, but I just want to get that out of the way. Where you're headed next. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just speak to this group of those of you where you're gonna move, transition out, because you do fall into that majority. You just kind of have the same, I took a leap of faith, did something I always wanted to do with that small minority. So everybody else, where you're going to be transitioning out, you're going to go and be the star. This is actually Leo Aquarius axis. I associate the performer with Leo energy, 5th house, joy, pleasure, entertainment, all of the things. You may, again, it's feeling like a public role, not necessarily like TV. Could be for some of you. You could be working in entertainment of some form or social media, right? All of the things, but it just feels like a unique job, a unique career, a unique business that gives you a lot of exposure, right? That really enhances your natural skills and your natural talents, right? Where you really thrive and you have the support and you're surrounded by people that love you, that you love, that are very supportive, right? That's where you're headed. Okay? So yeah, Leo Aquarius axis. So again, I said it earlier, social media, professional networks, community service, community endeavors, entertainment of any kind with this 5th house, gambling, and I say that like gaming, that career path for some of you. I see creative arts of any kind, whether we're talking about painting, writing, music, dance, right? Comedy, all of the things. Whatever it is that is calling you, wherever you land. Because some of you will be very surprised where you land. You might not even be looking for it. You may be doing something casually, accidentally, and it becomes a thing. I can see that as well. Okay? We'll get advice at the end. I want to get 4 from the Melanin Pop, but I mean, I love where you're headed. This is a very general energy, so maybe a lot of you are living like the exact same universe. But, I mean, a broad variety of it. Okay, I'll take those 2. All right, that's a very interesting energy. So I'll take, you have unavailable, busy, absent, taken, hard to reach. So I will say the career that is coming in for you, right? Whether we're talking about We've talked about that past. What's coming in is something that's going to keep you very busy. I will say that. Okay, you may be a bit hard to reach, you may be unavailable. Even if you're very visible, right, you won't be available. Some of you, because of the nature of this, you will be stepping into a leadership role. That is the confirmation for those of you seeking that. Your next role will be a leadership role, something that you're not very attainable to the general public or the general masses of the business, right? For example, you step into like management, executive level because star performer, right? Like there's a lot of people there with the Aquarius energy, lots of people in the company, but you're not necessarily attainable. And for those of you where you're not necessarily going to step into a leadership role, you'll step into a role where the average employee team member still just doesn't have access to you because you'll be on a very special team or something like that. Okay? I get that. And December may be a very relevant time frame for those of you. We are timeless, so whenever you stumble upon it, that month may be monumental. It may be when you really take off. It may be when you get that job. It may be when you get inspired. But something about that month feels like a relevant time period. A lot of you, calendars will be relevant, right? Stages will be relevant. As with most businesses, calendars are relevant. But you will be very, very busy. Okay? And then you've got Virgin, which is purity, innocence, angelic, bright, abstinence, and celibacy. Very pure environment, okay? Like these two coming out, it feels like kind of unavailable to the negativity, right? Like Virgin energy feels like inexperience, right? Honestly, some of you, I see that you're not gonna, if you've had a history of having to constantly deal with people that don't know what they're doing, that are inexperienced, you're not gonna have to deal with that anymore. But also a very pure, happy, positive environment. Like if people that are not in that star, top performer, happy, positive, trustworthy with angelic, like energy, need no apply there, right? Okay? Some of you unavailable coming out with Virgin says to stop shutting yourself off and to be open to collaboration so that you can continue to thrive. At the bottom, you have the athlete, which is dedication, training, hobby, talent, active, game, and sports. All of these could be key things in where you're headed, because I did get a heavy entertainment thing. So some of you could be working in sports and entertainment. All of those, that's also fifth house energy, right? Could be public facing, could be back of house, but all of it will be associated with those themes. Or maybe this is where you're at and you're trying to transition away from it, especially those of you where you're needing to do something new and unique. I can see that. Okay? Some of you, especially like my mature energy of people trying to transition out of the workforce, your concern is that you'll lose that star power, right? You've been a star, and to transition out makes you unavailable, makes you isolated and alone, and you want to be out active. But you're going to have to find some social things to do, right? That Aquarius energy, that's not just professional networks. It is community endeavors. It is collaborating with like-minded people, not necessarily close friends, but it's clubs, it's groups, it's organizations. So now you can go out and join a painting group. You can go out and do the gardening thing. You can go out and do the hiking, right? You'll have all of that time to join new organizations that can help you mold your identity. I'm getting that for those of you, okay? A lot of you are really afraid of a fresh start with unavailable and Virgin, because again, that is an experienced new energy. You're very, I heard the word traumatized, but you have a deep fear of being like entry level, okay? Being new somewhere. And that's your limitation. That's your blockage currently, all of you, okay? Because the people in that minority group of it's too early, you're just living that energy currently. Like you're already in that energy of, oh, I'm new, I love this, but I'm scared, I'm making mistakes, I'm trying to figure it out. You're already in the energy that the dominant people are afraid to step into. So you've taken the leap. You're just having second thoughts now, right? Because you love what you're doing. You're just afraid of the processes. But the majority here, they haven't taken that leap, or they don't even know what the leap is because they're so closed-minded and afraid to move on, because they fear being new, they fear the unknown, right? especially if you've historically thrived in the setting you're in. But if you ask yourself, are you currently thriving? Whether we're talking about professional thriving, whether we're talking about mental, emotional, are you feeling happy and content where you currently are? If the answer is no, it's time to look and explore other opportunities and be new somewhere, right? You have Virgin falling under the Three of Shells and the Six of Feathers. That's a transitioning away, right? Athlete is activity. You will be very busy, all right? Some of you, you've historically been busy in the worst way. You'll be busy in the best way. You'll enjoy it. You'll love it. You'll be confident. You'll shine, right? You'll be very, very dedicated, okay? Some of you, it is a hobby that will take off, right? Some of you, your hobby ties into your actual career, right? Especially we're talking about any type of entertainment, performance, and sports, okay? I can see that. Or fitness, right? I love that. Love that energy for you. So let me pull from these astrology-based oracle decks. I'm hearing, okay, be adaptive, but I do have a hint. Okay, so if don't take any role that will isolate you. That's not what you're meant to be doing. Okay? Any role that will isolate you. You're meant to be busy, you're meant to be active. So if you've done that or if you're doing that, that's not necessarily for you, right? Okay. Because I'm hearing some of you, there's a role that either you're in or it's coming in that, what is this? That kind of like it isolates you and you're not going to get support. Okay. So the reason why all of this heavy collaborative energy, right? The Star, Three of Shells, performer, athlete, all of this is team energy, collaborative energy. It's saying to not, whatever offer comes in, you may have multiple offers. I can see that. Not the one that forces you to go alone. Okay. All right. Some of you are not prepared because it tried to come in reverse, but I'm not taking that. We have planting moon, again, early stages. So whether it's too soon to quit or it's too soon to know where you're going, give yourself the time and grace to, one, grieve what was, right? To grieve what was, make the decision when you're good and ready. But the decision will need to be made. You just need to be certain before you do it. Like we all know in this pile that it has to happen, but some of you don't know where you're going, what you're going to do. Get your plans, get your ducks in a row, right? Preparation. This is the time to plan right now. You need to be planning. You need to be preparing, laying the seeds for whatever transition you're going to make. Okay. And then you preparing yourself, knowing that you're transitioning, right? And again, that minority of you, you're not transitioning out. You're preparing and growing and evolving to stay in. You're assimilating. But again, everybody else, you're preparing your exit. How do you do that? What do you need to do? One, you need the inspiration of where you're going. Okay, you definitely need the inspiration of where you're going. So just kind of, ooh, at the bottom, you've got blue moon, which is renewal. So you do need the renewal. Some of you are in a before you move, you need to heal. You need to heal. That may be that Virgin, that is Virgo energy. So we've got Leo, we've got Aquarius, we've got Virgo on the table. Those could be your placements, or those just could be key themes, key houses for you. So 11th house, 6th house, 5th house. So this is health and wellness, with it being Virgo. And you do have renewal and some healing energy. So maybe you need to prioritize your health and be in a healthy physical and mental space before you actually transition. That way you're the best version of you in this next phase. Okay, but be preparing with that planting moon. Some of you may literally be outdoors and gardening next. Okay, but that blue moon is a rare opportunity, a rare circumstance. Okay. All right, I want 2 more from this deck. All right. Dream. The waning gibbous. Waning gibbous. So waning moons are fading down. It's from the full fading down to the new moon. Okay, it is a transition out of something to step into a new moon. So dreaming, What is your dream? What would you do? Like, what would you do if you had no responsibilities and all of the things? Some of you are being called to pursue your dreams, to prepare a dream. Some of you have a dream that is very, very realistic. You just need to take the proper steps. Okay. A lot of you, this is your dream job that is coming in for you, but you have to prepare yourself for it. Because if you ask yourself, most of you in this career looking to move are not ready. And I think that's kind of what happened for some of you on that minority side of that minor group of, you're in a position that you love, but it's scary and you're having growing pains and trouble assimilating to the processes. Maybe you took a leap a little too soon. Everything happens when it's supposed to, but you may feel like you've taken it too soon, hence why you're in this group. That's why you're feeling that way. But just organize yourself, because Virgo also rules day-to-day tasks, routines, organization. Get organized, okay? Everybody in this pile. So plan for your dream. Plan for who you want to be. Plan for where you want to go. If you want X job, or you have the epiphany of, oh, I can go do this, I have transferable skills. How do you do it? What's the plan, right? Okay. Some of you are currently being prepared for a dream, and that's why you're healing. That's why, especially if your energy's been low, you're healing, you're tired. Some of you are closing karmic cycles. This is a huge karmic cycle card. Like, where you are, where you've been, has been transitioning you for exactly the next stage that you're in. So like everything you've done up to this point, hence why you have the Ace of Feathers, like every job you've ever had has prepared you for the moment that's coming in. And I love that for you, Pile One. Yes, it is that deep. I heard somebody question me. It is that deep. I just scared the crap out of somebody. Talking back to them. All right. I love it. The Inspirer. It is in reverse. So there's a lot of doubt. So second guessing yourself. Stop that. I believe in you, Pile One, and other people do too. This is a pile of a person that has a lot of support, a lot of networking, whether you have it now or it's coming in because of how gifted you'll prove yourself to be. Again, it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be busy, but it'll feel good because you'll be active in something you're passionate about. Whether you're aware of what it is now or it won't. But Aries energy is very active, right? But it also is the first house of your identity. So stop associating your identity of where you've been, okay? Where you've been is not who you are. It's it's the transferable skills of where you're going, okay? It's the where and it's the how. It's not the who. Let it go, okay? But the Inspirer, your next role will be very, very inspiring to you. And because you'll feel that passion, you'll be inspiring others on a small scale, large scale, whatever that is for you, okay? But you will feel able to express yourself. I will say a lot of cards here show that you will be able to be whoever you are, right? Like authentically, you won't have to hide any aspects of your personality. You won't have to, you'll have to assimilate into the work environment. If it's a job, you'll have to assimilate into the company and their processes. But you as an individual, they will embrace your personality, right? They will embrace how you look, right? Some of you may have unique looks, right? Especially when we're talking about gender or gender expression, since that is on the table, the environment you'll be in will be very accepting of you, okay? And then, and even those of you where that's not the case, like if you just have unique hair or a unique, unique tattoos, piercings, whatever it is that's different about how you look, it won't even be a thing in that next area, okay? Whether we're talking about cultural, whether we're talking about just aesthetic, right? Whether we're talking about protected classes in the work environment, none of that will be a factor where you are headed. And I love that for you, okay? You have Capricorn. Look at that. The house of career and social status. Some of you may have those placements, okay? So we got a lot of energy on the table, but that's all of those people and personalities around you as well. But yeah, Capricorn, it says the achiever. So you've got the star, the performer, the athlete, someone that goes, and the achiever. This is who you are going to be in your next job, in your next career, in your next business, in the next move you make. And I love that for you, Pile One. Look at this green on the table, money. Planting seeds of growth. Okay, that is the 10th house of career and social status. So you've got a confirmation of you are stepping into a much more heightened sense of visibility in your career. You will be very, very visible in whatever company, business, online, whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're doing. And even if it's not directly associated, like if it's not your actual job, your job will be such a social environment. Like it'll be a team that like does things together, whether it's community endeavors, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, Team Member Tuesday, whatever it is, like it's going to be a lot of interaction with your coworkers that you may not be used to. Okay? Because some of you, you're gonna do a lot of community endeavors on behalf of whatever organization, business you will be a part of. Loving that energy for you as well. So all right, give me more energy on where my pile 1 is headed. We already got where you've been. This is interesting. I love that this came out because I didn't have to keep pulling from the tarot, because you're either transition and feel like it's too early, but just suck it up and stick it out and ground yourself, or you're stale and you need to move on. It's very clear where you fall. If you're confused, take space, drink some water, go play, and maybe come back to the reading and you'll be clear. I promise you it'll be clear. Okay, even if it's not today, it'll be clear at least in the next couple of weeks. Okay, but yeah, we're transitioning out, or we're transitioning our inside, right? Our mentality, so that we can assimilate into this role. That's what we're doing for this pile. So tell me more about my pile 1, please. Wow, this is actually a long pile. I think you may be the pile that you like to drag things out. And I know my piles are always long, but not necessarily in career readings, which I don't do often, but you may drag things out. You may be dragging out this process, especially your preparation. Okay, I'm gonna take these 2 and then I'll just move on to the next deck. But you may, yeah, I can see you dragging things out. I could see you needing to be told things multiple times. I could see you ruminating, right? And that could be why you have a lack of clarity. Your mind is so fogged up with all kinds of other things, and panicking and overthinking the same thing over and over again, constantly thinking about this place, this current situation, that you don't even have the space for any new incoming energy. Okay, so clear your mind. Do whatever you go out in nature, right? Socialize, play, and I promise you, the clarity will come. This pile so far, I don't even need the advice cards yet. Your advice for now, if you are way down, fogged up, toxic, negative, all of the things, and I don't mean you, I mean the energy of this place, this job, this project that's gotten out of control, take a step back, take a break, go outside, touch grass, right? Stop living in your head. Like, go outside, go be active with the Aries athlete energy, go see a show, go drink with friends, go eat, do whatever you need to do to clear that, and it will be coming to you. Honestly, especially some of you will be outside hanging out, and it'll come to you in that sense because you'll be networking, collaborating, and it'll naturally come to you. That's the best opportunities. Okay, and then you have okay, opposition first, imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. This energy is where you are currently, right? The back and forth, the, oh, it was so great, but now it's not. It's the opposite of what it used to be. Oh, I don't know what to do. Some of you, what you're gonna do next is the opposite of what you're doing. So think of that. I don't even know what that means, but opposition, it may be an opposing energy. Ooh, some of you are gonna leave a company and go to a competitor. I'm just not seeing that. Yeah, definitely, just because opposition, right? An athlete, like it's like a competition thing. Some of you may need to do that, especially if you're in a role that is fulfilling to you, but the environment isn't, right? Then that means you need to go do the same thing somewhere else. Like, that's common sense. I'm not trying to be belittling, but I'm just saying sometimes we overthink things, and we need someone like me, right, to tell you it's common sense, okay? Don't have a sense of loyalty. Ooh, definitely. Some of you have a sense of loyalty where you shouldn't. Some of these companies don't care about y'all. Like, it's not that serious. Do what you need to do, okay? But you have the sextile, which is a combination of tension and flow, potential and a rewarding situation. Again, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be work, but you'll enjoy it. right? Power struggle. Some of you are in an environment where there is currently a power struggle. That's your get out, right? But a combination of tension and flow. The next place where you go, the next thing you do, it's not going to be a power struggle. It's going to be a healthy dynamic of challenging you where you need to be challenged from a level of respect, right? Like the effort, you're not going to be run down and belittled. You're going to work hard, but it's going to be fulfilling. You're going to feel accomplished. You're going to feel like the star. You're going to feel like you're going to feel like you're performing, right? You're going to feel productive versus just constantly being beaten down, run down, criticized, right? Because especially if you're in an environment where people are like constructive criticism, constructive where, right? You know, criticism has to be constructive in a professional environment. So I can see that for some of you, that may be the case, especially those of you where I felt like you were in that toxic situation. Okay, but it's going to be great. You're going to be fine. I can see it now because, like I said, once you stop clinging, and some of you have overstayed your welcome, is really what it came down to. I'm not talking about my mature people that are needing to transition out. You fall into that group, but I mean, some of you truly, like, especially if this was like your first job, like I mentioned in the Ace of Feathers, even if you've only been there like 3, 4, 5 years or more, you've just been there so long, they may not respect you at this point because maybe all the people that you came in have already moved on or moved up. Maybe you stagnated in your role. It's time to move around to another company or just a new like career path overall. If it's not feeling like it's for you, if it's not bringing you passion. But really the tension for a lot of you is that you may have overstayed your welcome without realizing. Especially if you're in a toxic place. They may, honestly, some of you, they may be trying to push you out. That's part of the pain. Maybe you're avoiding that, or maybe you realize that and it's hurting you with the 3 of Feathers. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's not just my mature people of stepping out. I mean, like, you know what I mean? You're in a position and there's no growth there. You're not growing. It's not growing. It's time to do something else, right? But the next thing will be amazing. Venus, yes, amazing. The pearl, right? I love that. In the shell, there is a pearl. Okay, it says give and receive love. Find value, see beauty. Let me talk to my small group first. Of those of you where you're in there and you're just like scared now. Some of you lack boundaries. Some of you have too firm boundaries. You know where you fall. This Venus energy talks about opening up, seeing the beauty, remembering why you went where you went. That's the group of you where it's new. You started something and you're struggling to assimilate. Because I know some of you that need to transition out will cling to this message like it's yours. This is not your message. This message is for those of them that have recently started something and they love it, but it's hard, right? Give and receive love. See the beauty. See why you did what you did and remember why you're doing it and just take what comes with it. Now, everybody else, your pessimistic mentality is affecting your ability to move on because one, you're clinging to that beauty of the past, which the present can be beautiful as well. It's just that you're in an environment that you're no longer in alignment with. That's not a bad thing. It doesn't make you a bad person. Doesn't necessarily make the situation, the people involved, bad people. Even, you know, they may be treating you poorly. I do see that in some senses, but this is the universe pushing you where you're supposed to go because most of you here, you won't move unless you feel like you have to. Okay, so I hate to say it, if you're one of those I won't move unless I have to, the universe will make you have to. Whether it's the most chaotic situation or the most traumatic ending, you will move because if that's what you're supposed to do, that's what you're supposed to do. So I would work with energy and not against it, right? That opposition energy, stop resisting the change, okay? But Venus, that is Libra, Taurus energy. It is second house of assets, stability. Some of you may feel like you own this like team, this business, like, even though you don't. You know what I mean? Because that is assets and ownership. It's also partnerships and business deals. So everything associated with money and work. But it's time to transition out. And the next thing will be just as positive for you. It may actually feel like where you came from, where it once was, because you'll be in alignment. Even if it's not the same thing, it'll give you that same feeling of what used to be that original Ace of Feathers from when you first started, when this actually was something you were aligned with. Okay? Loving this energy. I got 2 more decks. I'm gonna pull from this Moonology, and then we'll close it out with your advice from that New Orleans Oracle. So tell me about my pile 1. Pile 1. I think this is the one. I was thinking I was taking one from this, but I this is the one. It says South Node, don't let your past hold you back. And that is honestly, you know, it's advice as well, because South Node is where we are comfortable. It's where we're naturally skilled, naturally gifted, but we cling to that energy because we don't want to evolve. And that seems to be where you are, all of you in this pile, regardless of your situation. You seem to be clinging to who you used to be, or what you're used to do, what you're used to doing, or what makes you comfortable. And you're having trouble adapting and adjusting and moving on, moving forward, assimilating into new environments because of that fear. Okay, so don't let your past hold you back, right? You need to ascend and step beyond, okay? All right, let's see what's at the bottom. A personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer, deeply emotional energy. That is moon energy, ironically enough. So full moon and Cancer, lots and lots of feelings associated with this transition that you have to work through, that you have to heal and prepare yourself, right? It's easy to say get over it, but it's not. You're deeply emotionally connected to this decision, to this place, to the situation, to these people, right? And you have to wait until you're ready. We know it has to happen. Make the plans, do what you have to do. Don't take too long making the decision. In the meantime, especially those of you where you're feeling like you need to do something completely different, just go out, enjoy your life, find joy and pleasure where you can, heal, rest, recover. Don't get too low, and make sure that you're open to inspiration, because that's when you'll know to move and you'll know where to go, okay? But it does say a personal issue reaches resolution. You will find it, right? Some of you may come through like a maternal figure. It doesn't have to be by blood, but just like a maternal feminine energy. Others of you, it could be from a family member. Some of you may be going back home, right? 4th house is home, family, ancestry, okay? Culture. Could be someone from your culture that actually helps you out, right? That could be some of the means of inspiration for some of you, all right? But it will be resolved, okay? But just don't let your past hold you back, okay? I'm seeing here that there's a group of you that has a fear of going back home, whatever that means for you. But that fear is a liability, and it's holding you back, because some of you, that may be what you need to do, okay, pile 1? So let me get your advice. All right. And we'll close it out. This is gonna be fine, I promise. Flow. Number 28, flow. Flow. That's what you need to do. Very rigid energy here. Let's pull out the book and see, because these aren't very long. So we'll get that, and I'll take the bottom as well. It says, flow is the natural balance of all beings and things. The movement of the ocean and the cycles of the moon are all perfect examples of flow. They are ever changing, without judgment, in a fluid form. Much like the ocean, the human experience of flow can be rather unpredictable. However, it is always as it should be. It is a time for you to be aware of what your flow is without judgment. Stop judging yourself, stop judging the situation, stop judging the process. That's me ad-libbing, yes. But this can mean anything from a minor change in daily habits that will put you more at ease, to major decisions concerning career, that's what it says, that may lead to a positive shift in your life. I'll say it again, that is very important for this reading. It can mean anything from a minor change in daily habits that will put you more at ease, or a major decision concerning career that may lead to a huge positive shift in your life, okay? Staying in your flow simply requires the awareness of how your energy is affected by your thoughts or experiences, and choosing the thoughts and experiences that feed into your flow instead of taking you out of it, okay? That is very, very important, okay? That is your advice. And you will see the signs, okay? At the bottom, you have number 11, the signs. There is angelic support here. There is guidance from your spirit guides. You will be seeing whatever your religion is, whatever your spiritual practices are. You cling to that right now. You need it most. Whatever your spiritual practices are, your religious practices are, this is what you need to be clinging to, because you need that support. Okay? That may be the community. I see some of you may need religious community around you, but you will see the signs. You will see the signs. I'll read it because it's only 2 cards. It says synchronicities are a sign of being on the right path. Everything from repetitive number patterns to animal, must be angels as well, to animal messengers and found items such as feathers or coins can be signs that your angels are helping you along your path. If this card has shown up for you, then your angels are trying to get your attention and point you in the right direction. If you need help with clarifying the message, simply ask for more assistance from the universe and pay attention to the signs it sends you. You're being guided. Allow yourself to be open and receptive. That's why I said go outside, touch grass, collaborate, interact with other people. Because right now, especially if you've been kind of like in a hermit mode, like that Virgin card says, you won't get that clarity on your own in isolation. Please go outside. Please interact with your people. Please interact with your community. Outside, especially if you're in a toxic work environment, all you do is work and go home in isolation, and you're around people that don't like you all day, and then you go home and you're by yourself. That is so unhealthy. Please go outside with people that care about you, or interact with people that care about you, right? Because there are signs, there's messages, especially if you're in that situation. That is why you have spirit guides and angels around you even more heavily to support you, because that's not healthy, right? And they're trying to help you get out of the funk so that you can move into an environment that is beneficial to you, okay? So I'm going to close it out because your reading is almost an hour-long power one, but you needed it. And if you stuck around this whole time, thank you for staying. And I promise you it will get better. You will be inspired. Come back and let me know how great your life is going to be soon. And if it resonated for you, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile 2. So let's see your career reading. We're going to look and see your current energy with your job, your career, your business versus what is incoming. So I don't know why I'm slowing down like this. I don't know what's going on. Could be a dragging energy, could be a slow paced environment you're currently in, or you may be stepping into a slower paced environment. Might be able to take it easy soon if that's what you need. So let's hop right into it. All right, I've got this tarot deck. I've got the Melanin Pop Oracle to give us some details. I do have those 3 astrology-based oracle decks, and then I will give you advice from the New Orleans Oracle. Something is a bit of a challenge here. I'm just struggling to shuffle here. I don't know what that's all about. Something struggling to fit in. Could be current energy, okay? Struggling to fit in. Okay, all right, because I am struggling for this shuffle, okay? Tell me what's going on with my pile number 2s. Oh, you may be not able to express yourself appropriately. There's absolutely no reason. Listen, I am, those of you that know me, look at that. I got a lot of water right here. I've been drinking water. So I should not be doing that. So some throat chakra energy. You may not feel like you can speak your mind. You may not feel like you can be honest about how you feel, about what you think, about just who you are. That's not the environment for you. I don't need cards. I don't even need to channel energy. It's just you're out of alignment with that space. That's for sure. I can see why you guys have voted for this specific topic. Love that. We'll be doing more topics, more polls like this so that you can get readings you need. Yeah. Hold on. Let me get another sip of water. I just sipped water, by the way, before this. So some of you are working so hard you don't take breaks, you don't eat, you don't drink water. You better stop that. That's not good. And also, you're not able to take care of just your overall health. You better stop that. That's not good. And then, again, the throat chakra, that is your voice. That is your ability to communicate. You may not be communicating well. You may be in a role that requires you to communicate very effectively, and that may not be your forte. You may not speak very well or write very well, but you're required to do those things. Okay? That's not for you. Okay? Doesn't mean that, you can't try, but if you're struggling, you're not meant to struggle. You're meant to be somewhere you're comfortable, right? You're meant to do something that you're naturally good at, right? Even if it's something you have to polish and fine tune, right? You're not meant to struggle in any role, whether we're talking about a job, like your actual career, whether we're talking about education, like if you're studying something and it's hard, then I'm not saying challenging, but you get it, right? I'm not saying hard work in a healthy sense. I'm saying you're not getting it, or it's unnaturally hard, or you're working twice as hard as the people around you, whether it's by design, which is also bad just for you. You don't want to be in that environment, or you're working twice as hard because it's just harder for you than the others. You're not in the right role, okay? And it's time to be looking for something else. Love, look at that choice. So the Lover's card is about decisions, right? It's Gemini energy of my throat, right? And I said that at 3 minutes and 33 seconds. And number 3 is associated with communication and Gemini, as it is the third sign and it rules the third house. I love the synchronicities for you and the alignment. Now, the timing may not be the exact same on your screen because this is another pile and a long reading and all of the things, but you're getting alignment and synchronicities already. And that's throat chakra energy, that Gemini, Mercury energy of communication, okay? You could be struggling in that area. If you are, it's time to be looking for something else. That was specifically message for some of you. Others of you, you may be stepping into something that is communication based. There's always a polarity. So some of you are in something that requires a lot of communication, writing, and all of the things that's not your forte. Others of you are needing to step into a role that allows you to be creative in your expression and the way you communicate and all of the things, okay? Regardless, you'll know where you fall, but I love that it's the Lover's card, right? So I do think you need to move, right? Whether we're moving to another position, another company, letting it go, whatever it is. But there is a choice. You have a choice, okay? And you will have a choice soon. That's what's coming in for you, is a choice, okay? Your energy is very loud. You might be going through it, okay? You might be going through it. It's going to be fine, I promise. So let me get 2 more cards. I'll take the bottom. Give me more information about my pile twos. What's going on in their current work environment and where they're going, the world. Yeah, it's an ending, but for the best. Honestly, this is not, it doesn't, I don't want to eat my words. I still have to take this bottom and I have this other card, but it seems like this is an ending that is best for you, best for those around. And it doesn't seem negative in any sense. It's like, oh, honestly, those of you where you get like, find another job or get promoted or go to another department, everybody's going to be like, oh, that's so good for pile 2. Like, that's the energy, okay? With the world, like, it's a celebration, it's fulfillment. You'll be doing something that you're good at. You'll be feeling better. You'll be healthier, especially if, you've been overextending, okay? But you will have a choice to leave, and you will have, this leaving will close that cycle, but it will be something that completes you with the world, okay? Some of you may be traveling to your next stage in your career, okay? 4 of shells, soul searching and reevaluation. There's a group of you that before you go to another job, and it doesn't have to be this far end of the spectrum, it could just be a break. Some of you will take a leave for evaluation, for yourself, to figure out what you want to heal, focus on health, whatever it is you've got going on. You're debating on whether or not you should take a leave. This isn't a career decision in a sense of you're looking to move around. This is a health decision of you need time away, but you're afraid to do that. Those of you where you're concerned about making this health-based, or like whether we're talking about physical or mental health decision, your team, your company will support you. You'll be surrounded by love and support while you take this step back to prioritize what is important, which is your health and your wellness, okay? Because some of you did. You're like, what's next in my career? What's incoming? Like, oh, I'm scared, but I need to take the leave. I promise you, it will be fine. I can already see those of you that are asking about a leave, okay? Lots of love and support here, okay? Now, others of you, I got a slight quiet energy slipping in. Their choices in the world, some of you have gotten a rejection for a career, job, or something. And in that rejection, you just kind of let the whole thing go. I don't even know where I'm headed with that, but that just is relevant so far. I don't know where we're going with it. I just know that energy is here. Hopefully it comes out further as I pull more cards from the other decks, but that's an energy of some of you that are here, okay? Some of you have accepted something, especially if you came from the other pile, that you really wanted, you've always wanted, right? With the Lovers in the World, you've always wanted, and now you have it, and it's like, that's all. With the soul searching and reevaluation, the Four of Shells is discontent energy. It's, a cup being handed to you, you're not really interested, you're not engaged, okay? We're gonna see where we're headed with this. Let me see what else I see before I take this bottom. All right, my pile twos. Some of you be very careful that you don't leave something you love, right? For something that you will be discontent in. Like, don't chase superficial things. Don't chase what's shiny, new, what feels like it's gonna pay more money. Not saying money is important. You do need money, but I'm just making sure you know that if that is what you do, if you chase money specifically, like if you're not chasing peace, you're not chasing wellness, you're not chasing happiness, contentment, you're not chasing your passion, you're chasing money specifically, it's not, you're going to end up in a situation that you don't even want to be in. You're not going to be happy. You're going to be discontent. You're not going to be engaged. Okay? Especially if you're in an environment you love. With the Lovers and the World. Okay? All right. Let's see what's at the bottom. The Hangman. Patience and perspective. Some of you lack patience. Sometimes I call that the Give It to God card. So some of you, that energy that just came through, that lacking of patience, right? You're in a space you love, but you're discontent because more. Okay? If you're in a situation you love, an environment you love, but more, that's gonna bite you. Okay? That's gonna bite you. Sit tight, be patient, have perspective. Sit down, figure out what it is that will actually bring you passion. What are you actually seeking right now? Because it seems like some of you may actually have it all, but you're not appreciating it. You're being a bit ungrateful. Okay? So watch it. Now, I mentioned those of you that need to leave. Here's your confirmation, the Hangman. Patience, taking a step back, releasing, being suspended, and allowing what needs to happen, listening to your body, listening to your mind, and being supported while doing so. Okay? Because patience also talks about people being patient with you. Okay? You try to find that energy that was the immediate. Some of you, again, that is the discontent of where you are and what you're doing and needing to release it. Right? Recognizing that it's not for you and making the decision to move away. Let me get more energy from this melanin pop. Tell me about my pile twos. Tell me about what they're going. So, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody in this pile is so discontent. This is such a discontent pile. You're extremely unhappy. But I don't know that career is gonna fix it, okay? I don't know that career is gonna fix it. I'm not saying that it won't. If you know that it is the job, career may fix it. But some of you, it is a physical health, it is a mental health, needing a step back to recover from whatever you've been dealing with. Some of you, you are disengaged because I hate to say it that way, but to be abrasive, but you're being a bit ungrateful because you're in an environment you love, you're in a position that fulfills you. There's just something about this more energy with you that you have to be patient for. Like, you're where you need to be. You're at a level that's fair for you. Okay? And then there's the group that it's just, you loved it, cycle closed, and it's time to do something else because it's no longer fulfilling you. Everything has a season. Just because you once loved it doesn't mean that it's forever. We grow, we evolve, become new people. Something else now. Release it and move on to something else. That's what's coming in. But everyone here is in that Four of Shells, disengaged, disinterested energy. Okay? So let's evolve. Let's evolve this energy. Tell me what's incoming for my... Ooh, okay. Tea, gossip. There's some news coming in. I mentioned getting rejected for something and releasing it. You may get news for something better, but gossip, eavesdropping, storytelling. Okay, some of you are in a very gossipy environment, or you're gossiping a lot because you're bored. Watch it. Okay. Tea and storytelling could also be somebody that's procrastinating because they're disengaged, right? Kind of dragging along. Like storytelling talks feels like someone that's doing everything but working. So just watch that. But tea talks about a message. Here we go with that Gemini energy, right? Communication, third house, Mercury based energy, communication. Some of you need to be doing something, if you are not already, where you are speaking, where you're communicating, where you're writing, where you're telling stories. Okay? That's what you need to be doing. Some of you, that is what you're doing, but maybe not in a capacity that you're doing. For example, if you're a writer, but you're writing for a company, like you're a copywriter, you're not writing what will fulfill you. Some of you, it's not even that you need to quit this job. It's that you need to better manage your time so that you can also work on your personal side hustles, your work, right? Like if you better manage your time, you'll be able to keep your job and also do what fulfills you as well. Because it seems like this is a pile of finding what will fulfill you, but kind of also having it around, right? You have fulfillment and celebration, but you also have soul searching and reevaluation. I'm not talking about those of you where it's not for you and you're in a toxic environment. I'm talking about those of you that have it all but are discontent. That's going to be something you find outside of work, unfortunately. I mean, you can quit your job if you want to, but it's not going to make you happy until you find that thing. Okay? I want you back. Oh, that's a message, but it's also, this is a lot of messages at the bottom. So you got, I want you back, regrets, missing you, sadness, sleepless nights. Some of you, I'm telling you, do not do the thing. If you did it already, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I'll be able to develop that energy. Okay. But don't make a decision based on something superficial, right? Like I said, make a health and wellness decision. Right? Definitely make a decision based on fulfillment and what you want, but do not leave something you love, that you're happy in, that is very positive for you, to go to something just because you're chasing waterfalls, chasing money, right? Because you'll regret it, right? And then all others of you, this is a very interesting energy coming through. When we talk about career and where you're headed or whatever, I'm getting this is a past energy, and this is conversations, tea, gossip. You're going to hear that, maybe an old job or an old career or someone misses you, someone wants you back, right? I'm not even going to lie, because we have the Lovers. I'll give it to you. I'll let you have it. It could be romance based, could be, but that's not what I'm heading with. Like you may get information regarding that. Because of the Lovers. But that said, some of you, like an old opportunity may circle back. Okay? Like a situation that maybe you left just isn't what it was, and you'll have an opportunity to go back. Or some of you that did get that rejection, you'll get information on what that rejection was and why, for better, for worse, and then you'll actually get that offer or a comparable offer. I'm getting, okay? But there was just so much information coming through here, okay? With my pile twos. All right, tell me. I love that I've already started to shuffle, but that I want you back. I want you guys that are really concerned about taking a leave for your health to not be, because that is you'll get the confirmation. T is also confirmation with I want you back, that pile 2, do whatever you need for your health. Or some of you may be going on maternity leave and are worried that, like, you know what I mean, like what it's going to be like when you come back. These people love you. They want you there, okay? If you're worried about taking space for yourself, these people love you. They want you there. They will call you back as soon as your time is up, like, okay, when you're coming back to work. You know what I mean? Like, that's the energy. So I don't want you to be worried about that if you're taking a leave for any type of health reason. All right. Would you accept? Y'all, I'm telling you, somebody is going to make you an offer. Okay? And I hate that the romance is coming through for this, because this is not that kind of reading. Because you do have romantic gestures and apologies. So those of you where you were looking for that, it is there. But career-wise, some of you got like an old company, an old boss, somebody like, please come back, pile 2. Letting you leave was not smart. letting you leave put us in limbo. Four of shells. Some of you, if you put in a notice, now don't listen to me. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just predicting the energy. Some of you, if you put in a notice, the company is like gonna freak out and like spiral and like make an offer. Okay? Like they're gonna make another offer. They're gonna counter. Okay? Others of you, if you are in an environment where you love what you're doing, but maybe the environment isn't the best, I get that. Maybe now I'm not talking about if it's truly toxic, but like if someone did something at work, or like maybe your boss or like a coworker, and like it upset you and like it made you feel invalidated. If you clearly communicate that, this person didn't realize that they did that, and they will apologize, and things will be fine. I promise. Okay, it's not, if you clearly communicate that, okay, in a healthy way. Like, don't be all aggressive, but like if you say, hey, listen, that thing you did or said, it made me feel less than or whatever, this person will apologize. But this is tea. It's tea about an offer. Like, you may hear from someone that you have an offer coming in, pal, too. So if you've applied for something and it's been a long time and you're just waiting, because that hangman is waiting. If you're waiting for something, and maybe with the world, it's been so long that you're thinking you got rejected, something might just show up out of the blue, like, hey, you still looking for a job? That's kind of what I'm getting for this pile. So let me get another one, and I'll take the bottom. Oh, that's interesting. And I was thinking I was going to take 4, and I will, but I will. And then, but I want to look at that and see what that is. So you do have tradition in reverse. So it could be something. So your next thing will be different from what you're used to. It'll be different from your current job for sure. But it will also, it may take you away from like your culture, your family, your hometown, if that's where you still are, or where you're used to being. Like, it'll be something it'll be something associated with another culture, like another location, another set of people that you're not used to dealing with. Like, you'll be dealing with people you're not used to dealing with tradition. Okay? Oh, that's why I got that. Okay. Tradition in reverse. So this is a couple. It's like a wedding, right? Some of you, the leave you need to take is because of whatever you've been dealing with like your partner, your spouse, your family. Like, maybe there's a loss in the actual family, or like a loss of the family, or family issues, or maybe a separation from a partner that you need to take a step back from, that you need to heal from. Okay? And then others of you with the, ooh, I'm losing my voice. I am talking way too much for somebody. Somebody's losing their voice and don't know how to communicate it. Or maybe you're embarrassed and you don't want to talk about it to your coworkers or your boss, that you need this leave for whatever reason regarding your personal issues, right? You may need to do that. I don't know why, like, my throat's doing a thing. It's actually, let me get the water, because Pal 2 don't do this. You have to be able to communicate your feelings and what you need. This right here is a couple in reverse, and it makes me feel like some of you may have an offer that will take you away from a partner. Okay? And that's the choice is, do I leave this person behind or do I move forward? Okay? And I'm not going to lie, I see a lot of you with the 4 shells. I see you leaving the partner behind. Okay? Possibly might have regrets. Because I did see that energy, but it's not a love reading, but that may be part of the choice of deciding what you're going to do. But you do have expectations, black sheep, set in one ways, and inflexible. So it is in reverse. So what the next thing is going to be whether or not you can assimilate into something new. Okay? Because I mentioned it being not what you're used to. Okay? Away from home, away from what you're familiar with, away from processes you're comfortable with. Okay? Letting go and being able to do it. especially since we do have at the bottom so far manipulation, control, influence, devious, trick, exploitative, and fool. Some of you, there may be gossip at your work regarding these information. Like maybe they may see you as set in your ways. They may see you as manipulative. They may see you as exploitative, right? But yeah, manipulation. Some of you are being manipulated in your current situation, have been manipulated. I did get the energy before I pulled my fourth card and take the bottom. I was getting that energy of being impatient and just rushing the process and having it all, but being so ungrateful that you kind of jump for something that is not really in your best interest in that manipulation. Some of you may have already done that and now you're trying to figure out how to maneuver that. And others of you, I'm telling you how to avoid it. Okay, be patient. Okay. Some of you have done that and you've put yourself in an environment that is not the best, right? Where you're being rejected, where you are the black sheep, right? Where you're being manipulated and exploited. Let me get one more. Tell me more about my Pao-Tu. It's incoming from a Pao-Tu's career, please. Thank you. And I'll see what's at the bottom in a second. Groupie, shallow, fan, obsession, stalking, lust. Okay, so I'm going to come back to those of you that have already put yourself into this mess. But again, I mentioned that ungrateful energy. Okay? Of you have it all, but you want more, and you have time. By you doing that, you've let this company, boss, whatever, realize how thirsty you are. And I'm using that word. I do not mean to be offensive, but I don't want you. Oh, I'm already talking about those of you that have already done it. I'm so sorry that you already did it. Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to get back to you. I don't want you in this situation if you haven't put yourself already into it, Pao-Tu. Do not look thirsty for advancement, for success, right? Because everybody can see this is a good situation. If you're in a good situation, you have it good, it's a positive environment, don't go chasing waterfalls, okay? Don't be chasing stuff and looking super desperate to get ahead, to move ahead, because people like that are easily exploited, whether they realize it or not, right? You'll take anything, and that's the gossip, is they'll take anything, right? The tea, they'll take anything, right? Some of you at work watch it because you may have a reputation. I was using that. I was like, why am I being so aggressive with my Pao-Tus? Why am I calling my Pao-Tus thirsty? I don't know that I've ever done that. But especially not in a career reading, but it's not even just thirsty for like advancement. I see thirst for attention. And maybe that's why the love reading, the love energy came through. I was getting that. But some of you look really like thirsty in the workplace romantically, currently. Okay? And if this is not you now, this is so you can just know that where you're headed now, there's a potential for that energy. So mind your energy. Mind your energy. Okay? And then that groupie energy could also be that obsessive energy of chasing, more. Right? Status. I'm saying it in threes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the energy surrounding you right now. And that's kind of how people are seeing you. People are disengaged with you because this is how they're perceiving you. Or will, depending on how you proceed in some instances, okay? Those of you where you're talking about taking a leave, this is not you anymore. You got your message. So you, honestly, I may get advice if you want to stick it out just for the entertainment, because some people do. Sit tight, because I am going to pull advice at the end, but I think that is it for those of you that need to take a step back for your mental health, unless this is the situation leading to you needing to take a step back for your mental health. Okay? Because I can see that in some instances. Let me see what else I get. Some of you, people are watching you. In the positive sense, people are watching you because of the offer that's coming in, right? Like, they're watching you. higher ups is what I mean, right? Like tradition in reverse could be not public knowledge, like not team community knowledge, like not like whispering tea and right, because tradition is out, it's public, but tea is gossipy, like there could be whispers and leadership about, you know, making you an offer or whether or not to make you an offer, right? It's at the bottom. Okay, there's that freedom. You have you don't own me, freedom, alignment, aerial fitness. So some of you where we're talking about possibly needing to leave a partner behind, I could see you doing that or having done that. And just releasing hangman and you don't own me, same energy. Okay. If you had questions, and this is not me, this is spirit. If you had questions about whether or not you should reject an opportunity for someone that you may not be in a real commitment with, that's a no. Honestly, me, the reader, that's a no. But spirit says, hangman, you don't own me, freedom, right? You can't cling to someone or something that's not even really a sure thing, right? Ooh, tradition in reverse is a not commitment. That's not saying this won't be your person, but at this stage of you needing to do what's best for you as an individual, right? As in your career, this is not someone that is someone you need to tie, like forego your growth for. Because if this is a person for you, they will be for you, right? You need to go evolve, become the version of yourself you want to be. And you also need to chase your dreams. If this is your dream career with love in the world, I can see that. You can't turn it down for a situation that's not even like committed. It is what it is, okay? No matter how this person feels. Because I'm getting that energy could have been that person, okay? Especially with the groupie, if someone's clinging as you try to ascend. Okay. Some of you will get an offer that is they're very adamant, right? So there's a T of the would you accept, right? And you have very strict expectations of what you want. Ooh. Some of you explore all of your options. Do not be desperate, do not be thirsty, do not seem overly adaptive in your job search. Okay? Do not do that. What I'm saying is if they give you an offer that you don't want, say no. Be inflexible. Do not, like, they will counter. Okay? And even if they don't, you already know it's a low vibrational space. You didn't need it, right? You didn't need it. But don't settle. That's what you're being called to, pal, to, okay? Interesting, okay. Some of you are clinging to a very specific type of job that you want. And if you broaden your horizons, something better will come in for you. Sorry, I was like trying to catch my breath. Some of you, it will be fitness-based, health and wellness-based. That is Pisces energy, by the way, the hangman. It does rule mental health and psychiatry, psychology, dreams, right? Actually, all of the occult. So if you're a spiritual practitioner, those are the things as well, right? A free spirit is kind of Aquarius energy as well, okay? But you will be aligned with the next thing. Something is aligning for you right now with the hangman and you don't own me. Something is aligning for you right now. If you free up your energy, free up your space of any like soul contracts, karmic bonds, like I'm not even talking about just romantic. Some of you are letting people that you're in relationships or connections and or family, like that may not want you to go certain places. You're letting them bind you to something that is unfulfilling. And if you release those expectations and just do whatever you want, if you have to be the black sheep, then do that. But you have to free up your energy so that this opportunity can come in, because I do see an offer coming in for you very quickly. So let me pull from these astrology-based oracle decks. Tell me about my pile 2, please. What's next? What's incoming for my pile 2's career? Oh goodness, there's so many cards. Why is that? All right. We're not taking all of those, but the one that is on the table, I'll get. All right. And it landed on you don't own me, and it's kind of incoming energy. So it is a waxing crescent. So something building up. I told you something's building up right now, right? With the envision, there's a vision building up, whether it's yours or someone else's, that is going to present you with an opportunity soon. Okay, but envision. Okay, key theme here. Some of you, it is that spiritual practices. Like if you have like psychic spiritual practices with that envision energy, it may very well involve that, because you do have spiritual ascension here with Sagittarius. This is also higher education. So some of you may be teachers, professors. This is also travel. So it could be anything associated with travel or moving. But I mentioned the cultures that are not your own with this tradition. That is Sagittarius energy, right? The explorer. Some of you may travel for a living. Your job may require you to travel a lot, or you may just be exploring, right? Like you may be in a field that constantly has you exploring, researching, doing detective work. You know what I mean? Like that may be what's incoming for you. Okay. Right. You may have a theory, a concept that you seek to prove, right? A hypothesis. I can see that. I see a lot of research here. Some of you are teachers and want to step into the research field. This is your confirmation, okay? Some of you are in theory-based practices and you would like to be out in the field, applying that knowledge. That is your confirmation, okay? Yeah, but Sagittarius, that's Jupiter-based energy of luck, of expansion, right? You're going to be very lucky soon. I mentioned something coming in soon. That's Jupiter energy of soon. Right? Expansion. But you have to be willing to move. You have to be able to be willing to go into environments with people you're not comfortable with, people that, I say not comfortable, people you're unfamiliar with, right? Cultures you're unfamiliar with, spaces you're unfamiliar with. It's the only way you're going to do it, okay? One more. You have boundaries, and it just flipped right up, okay? Winning crescent, boundaries. Fourth shells is a boundary. Okay. Tradition in reverse is a boundary. Some of you need to make sure you maintain your boundaries. Like you don't own me is a boundary. Some of you need that space. And whether we're talking about a partner, family members that are trying to hold you in something, or whether you have like a boss or like a company that's trying to like bind you. Some of you may need to break a contract. I'm not looking that deep into that. That's something maybe you'll find somebody to give you a personal reading for, but boundaries is a huge theme here. Some of you that are taking the leave it's because you lack boundaries, because you've let the job run you down so much that now you need the space. Boundaries is a huge thing. So if you love your job, you love where you are, your issue is boundaries. If it's running you down, your issue is boundaries. Okay? Right? Obsessed, groupie. Obsessed. You're obsessed. Take space. Okay? But some of you, it's saying, don't budge with what you want. Don't settle. And honestly, that's the advice for those of you that are coming through with that really ungrateful energy, because you are technically trying to settle. You have everything you need, but you're chasing, and you're not allowing yourself to be fulfilled in where you are, right? So now you're chasing the next thing. And it's looking like if you do that from, again, that space that I told you not to do that from, you're going to end up in an environment where you're not happy, okay? Now, boundaries, that's crazy. But don't just take an offer because it's an offer. Especially, I do feel bad for those of you that are tired, run down, and all the things. Some of you may, if you can afford to, take a leave just from the workforce to get yourself together before taking the opportunity. Because I could see some of you here wanting to act in desperation. Like there's those of you that are ungrateful. I've already had my conversation with you, but there's some of you that are going to want to take just something out of desperation. Do not move from a space of desperation. Look at this. You have the groupie on the table. Okay, that employer, that partner, that business partner will spot it a mile away, and they will take advantage of you. Okay, do not operate from a place of desperation. Okay? Operate from that hangman, you don't own me. I got this, I'll be good whether I get this job, whether I get the next job, start my own business. I don't need you. Don't be arrogant, but be confident and comfortable in who you are, right? Do not be desperate. Okay? There could also be conversations about lowballing you because of desperation. Okay? Do not. At the bottom, reflect. That's what you need to do, okay? And you got 2, 20, 32, and 23 now. So those could be relevant numbers for you. But reflect. You need a period. Before you do anything, pal, too, you need to reflect. Think about where you've been, what you're doing, and where you want to go. And figure out if a move will actually fulfill you or if you need boundaries. If you need a break, if you need boundaries. Because I was going to say, I mentioned the leave as the most extreme sense. Some of you literally just need a vacation. Like, you love it, it's fine, but you need to travel and take a vacation. You need to pull your energy back and then come back to work. That's really what it is. You lack boundaries with your job. Okay? I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. If anything, this is not an easy fix, but you set boundaries, you're good because you just lack boundaries with your job. And that's not those of you that are ungrateful. Okay? Some of you that are ungrateful have too many boundaries with your job. Right? You're focused on everything but the job. That's why we have all of this gossipy energy surrounding you. Wanting to be free. Well, all right. All right, let me pull these astrology-based oracle deck. These other two. Tell me, my pile 2. What's incoming for my pile 2? You got an offer coming. Some of you, you're going to have to turn it down because it's a low ball. Because they thought you were desperate. You may have come across as desperate. I'm telling you to pull your energy back so that if you've already presented yourself as such, when they come in, you can say, I slept on it. It's a no. That's what I would like. I don't want you to fumble a bag. I want you to use your discernment. Is that an offer you want, or do you feel pressured to take it? Right? Let me see. Tell me more about my pile 2. I'll take all of those just because why not? But you got Capricorn. Okay, that is a sign of work. Some of you, again, that's that really hard karma-based energy, Saturn, right? Saturn is the planet of karma. I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but it could be a relevant theme. I don't know for this pile specifically, but something about Saturn-based energy of hard work, of karma, of paying your dues, of kind of reaping what you sow in some instances. I don't know why that's relevant for this pile. All right, but and it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It could be for better, for worse, right? But this is 10th house energy of career and social status, very public energy. You do have the gossipy card here. So if people are gossiping, I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to put this, sorry. People are gossiping, then could be a lot of people, could be everybody, I don't know. Just because it is landing there. Let me take these two and I'll take that one last. House 7. Profound relationships, intimacy, romantic partnerships. That's why it's a lot of love energy here. I'm not gonna lie, but also there is an energy of people might be gossiping about your love life. I'm not gonna lie, for sure, at your workplace. I'm getting that heavily because I was wondering why I was getting that, but here we are. Now this is Libra energy. It is ruled by Venus, but it is basically kind of like justice energy, which is also kind of a karmic card. This is a karmic card as well. So I don't know why we're getting that energy, but I did mention you possibly needing to like close karmic cycles here. Whether it is with a company, whether it is with a person, whether it is just an era of life, but also the house 7 talks about your contracts. So don't get wrapped up into a contract that you don't necessarily want, right? Out of desperation, right? Out of fear. Especially if you're in a hostile environment, like, or if you're like not well because you lack boundaries and you've run yourself into the ground. Like, just be mindful of what you get yourself wrapped up into. But there is a theme here of your relationships, whether we're just talking about your contracts, whether we're talking about legalities, whether we're talking about your romantic, like marriage contracts. But I mean, I will associate this with love because it is romantic partnerships, whether it is on paper, but I'll take it as not because I was already getting that energy where it may apply for those of you You know, these are general messages, the broader energy. All right. Some of you need to keep, there's a phrase that I would like to say, but YouTube is not going to have it. Some of you need to not bleep where you eat. I love that. That was like literally freestyle. I'm gonna start saying that in real life, okay? But you know what I mean if you know the phrase. Stop, don't bleep where you eat. If you have a history of that, people definitely are talking about it. All right, so you definitely have a business contract coming in soon, whether it's a partnership or career based, like a company, like with a company, you have that coming in. Okay, you definitely do. Yeah, look at that yang energy. Definitely the case. It says proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. Okay, very active. Now again, some of you very active, especially the masculine energy. It doesn't have to be like, you know, you don't have to identify as masculine, but it's a very active masculine energy here of relationships potentially in the workplace. So if that's your history, if that's what you do, people are talking about it. Watch it so that it doesn't affect your career. Like, especially with this groupie energy, like you may have a reputation for being a bit thirsty in the workplace romantically. Don't do that. Don't bleep where you eat. Okay. Conjunction. A union, merging, and coming together. Definitely a conversation. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. I do see with the 4, like I mentioned that rejection energy. If there is a rejection energy career-wise, it is the reputation. I'm not gonna lie, okay? There's a reputation. Okay? Especially in a masculine sense. Okay? Some of you be mindful of that. You may actually be asked to leave a situation, whether now or in the next position, depending on how you conduct yourself. Okay? That's why you have all of this reflecting, pulling back energy. Okay? All right. I was not expecting that. Cancer. Nurture, comfort, and protection. Oh, and especially with that tradition, especially if you're somewhere where there's a policy against fraternizing, you better watch that, okay? Yeah. Okay. So, Cancer energy is home, family energy. All right. And then you actually have the 10th and 4th house axis here, right? So Cancer, Capricorn energy, that's paternal, maternal energy. So it could be like parents. Some of you may work with one of your parents or both of them. Some of you may work for a family business or go to work for a family business. And people are gossiping about the nepotism, whether it's an actual business or just the parents are there or a parent is there, because that could be the gossip. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be the gossip about your parents, like, oh, such and such is getting ahead because they're parents, right? And if that's true, watch it, because we do have the karmic justice energy all over the table. Like if you've just been kind of milking the system for whatever reason, just like nepotism, or if you have a partner in the workplace, like, and you've been taking advantage of that, watch that. That's definitely, like, I've seen that play out in real life. That does, like, I've seen it not work out well. So just make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then we have balancing work and family, right? 10th house, social status, career. 4th house of home and family, boundaries. Making sure you have a work-life balance. Okay? This is my work-life balance pile of, some of you don't need to leave where you're at. You just need to adjust. You need boundaries, whether we're talking about boundaries with your job so that you can enjoy your life, boundaries with your personal energy so you're not bringing it into the workplace, right? That's what I'm getting. That's why that heavy theme of boundaries was coming through. Don't bring your personal relationships and issues, drama, whatever, into the workplace, and don't bring your work home so that you lose your mind. Okay, don't do that either. So let's pull from, on a positive sense, I'm sorry, that's why I pull. On a positive sense, your next job, regardless of how this current stuff happens, right? Like if all of that all of this I've talked about doesn't resonate currently, it's a warning, especially those of you in that ungrateful energy, that could be where you're headed. Okay. Now, in a positive sense, your next job is going to be so active, so energetic. You're going to fit the team well. You're going to be like, it's going to be the perfect place for you. With the house 7 and a conjunction along with Yang, perfect job for you. Work-life balance, right? If you handle it well. If you handle it well and you have the appropriate boundaries on each end of the spectrum, this 10th and 4th house end of the spectrum, if you have the appropriate boundaries, it'll be the best thing ever, because again, you will be completely aligned with what you're good at, with the team. It'll be the perfect offer for you if you take the right offer, okay? And you'll know because you'll feel it, okay? And I've already given you some energy to help you discern for yourself. So tell me more about my pile 2. I'm gonna have to put the light on soon because I did start filming this relatively late. I'll take the bottom. The energy is gaining momentum. Waxing moon. It's coming in soon. It is coming in hot. And those of you waiting for an offer, it's coming in hot. Whether we're talking about a rejection for a variety of reasons that I might have mentioned, or we're talking about an offer. Okay? Some of you, that rejection energy is not necessarily a job you applied for. Some of you, again, I mentioned you could, if you got a lot of, I hate delivering the messages publicly. If you got all this stuff, you may be asked to leave, okay? You may be a distraction, okay? So just be mindful. A win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. So more of that 7th house energy coming through for you. Regardless, it's gonna be for, so I read these energies astrologically. So the energy is gaining momentum. A win-win outcome is forecast. This is Libra scales. This is the justice energy. I think I was talking about karma and everything with that Saturn energy coming through. Whatever happens, I don't like to say it's what you deserve, because I don't want to say if it's not a good outcome for you. I don't like to say that because I don't know what happened. I'm not there. I just know that it's scales balancing. Right? The energy is gaining momentum. A win-win outcome is forecast, for better, for worse. The scales are balancing. Whatever happens is supposed to happen. Like if you have a history of, like, I don't know, taking advantage, it'll balance. If you have a history of being taken advantage of in the workplace, the scales will balance. Okay? But that's what I'm getting. Like the energy is gaining momentum. We're almost at the full moon. Like we're building up to the full moon here for the scales of balance. Okay? Some of you, it will be fall, winter. If you're watching this in real time. Okay? And I say that because I've got Capricorn, but I've got Libra twice. So it could be Libra season, where this all kind of happens, okay? But the scales will balance, for better, for worse. So you know how you've been living. You know what energy you've been bringing into work. You know what energy you've been leading with, okay? Because this is actually a pile I'm surprised to see. I'm getting a little stiff in my wrist. Some of you may have a stiff left wrist. Watch that, okay? That's not something I get. But my whole left arm, my hand got really, really stiff. Okay, watch that. Especially if you're left-handed. But like I said, just watch it, because this is my pile that doesn't feel like necessarily looking for a new job. You could be, but your dominant energy is all about like where you're at and ascending where you're at and growing where you're at. Okay? So those of you that you got an offer, you're getting an offer, you counter offer, you'll get an offer that you'll take the job, and you won't get over. You don't want to get over. You don't want a job where you got over, that bites you down the line. But you'll get an offer that's fair to both you and the business partner or the company, right? Like, so the offer's coming in, right? Where you're waiting on it. You're like, I don't have any of this drama. I may lack boundaries with work. I may be a bit of a workaholic, but I don't have, I'm good. Well, I feel like this energy is gaining momentum, and it'll be an offer that is fair, okay? See what's at the bottom, and then I'll get your advice. You're very close to achieving your goal. I love that. Gibbous moon. You're very close. All right. So those of you where you're trying to figure things out, like you're waiting on something, you're applying, or you're working towards a promotion, you're almost there. If you've been, again, we got all these scales of karmic justice on the table. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of lives you guys have been living. Tell me in the comment pile too, because it feels a bit like a scandalous pile. I'm not gonna lie, but like, how have you been acting in the workplace, at work? Let me know. But like I said, if you're on the just side of the spectrum, you'll be getting what you've been working towards. If you've been skating by, or like whatever you've been doing, everything but work, listen, very close to achieving your goal. A gibbous moon is right before the full moon. It's about to hit, so you may be able to turn around. I don't know, honestly. I feel like at this point with this gibbous moon, it's too late. I hate to say that so much. Oh my gosh. Maybe that's point is like, be preparing, looking to see what you're going to do, because some of you are not going to be happy. Some of you, that's not the majority of you. I mean, if this all that stuff resonated, like some of you may be truly asked to step aside. Well, let's get your advice, and I'm going to close it out so that I can go put the light on and go to the rest of the reading. All right, tell me my advice for my pile twos. What do we need to tell my pile twos? Oh my gosh, there's so many. I'm not taking those. There's a maturing energy of companionship. Letter C is heavy on the pile. Could be relevant. All right, I got it. Okay. Focus. Look at that eye. Some of you are being watched. So honestly, I hate to say it, but some of you, if you're doing something shady on the job, like I mentioned some of this like drama and stuff like that, but like if you're doing something shady, like if you're stealing or manipulating stuff, like you're gonna get caught. Like, stop. I say that because it's like 5 minutes, 44 seconds. Like like some of you are already caught and don't even realize. Stop, okay? But focus, okay? Like you need to focus. Focus on what you should be focused on. Okay, and maintain your boundaries. So let me 20. Focus says that everything is energy, including your thoughts. Think of your thoughts as different cars driving by. You have somewhere that you need to travel to, and you have the choice of any vehicle that passes. It says, would you want to get into every car, or would you select the one that seems to be the best equipped to get you to your destination? Don't be thirsty. Take the offer that most makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, then it's not the car for you. Okay? And that's also some of you, that groupie energy, talking about stop messing with everybody at work, or stop doing whatever you're doing. You get what I'm saying? Like, stop bringing that into the workplace. Because I definitely saw that for some of you. Or don't get wrapped up with someone that's like that. That's going to be bad for you. But it says every thought can be a step either towards forward motion or stagnation. If this card comes up in your reading, it is because you must pay attention to where you allow your focus to lead your thoughts. Be aware of where you put your energy mentally and emotionally, and it will enable you to create a more self-empowered journey. It's time to not only realize that you have a choice about where you focus your energy, but to also see how those thoughts are affecting your energy. And those of you that are taking a step back because of your health, whether mental or physical, this talks about your boundaries with your job, whether you've let them run you down, or you've run yourself down, or just your between work and home, it's all become a lot, like physically, mentally. Focus and allow yourself to center and balance. At the bottom, you do have gratitude. Again, didn't I call y'all ungrateful? I definitely called y'all ungrateful. Not everybody. I'm not talking about everybody. But there is a group here that is very ungrateful, and you do have the gratitude card here calling you that again, telling you that your advice is to have gratitude. I'm telling you, don't end up in a bad situation or get wrapped up into drama because you've been ungrateful, right? Don't let that put you in a negative position. If you've already done that, if this is your current energy, how to recover, focus your attention, humble yourself, right? Gratitude is humility. Be humble and focus and do what you're supposed to be doing, okay? okay, because it's the second line. And it says second line parades are a staple of New Orleans culture. The uplifting music and dance signify prevailing circumstances through celebration, whether in celebration of marriage, death, or just the good times in between. Second line parades always emphasize leaning on gratitude and appreciation because all is never lost. So there's hope. You'll be given, a lot of you, some of you will be given an opportunity to turn it around. If it's not already, some of you caught, it's over with. I'm sorry. It is what it is. But you'll still be able to carry this energy with your next role. And maybe that's why I was getting that desperation energy. Like if you're asked to leave here where you're at, you'll be, don't be so worried. Like take time to heal, rest. I mean, do what you have to do for survival. But you know, you may end up in a situation out of fear, out of desperation, where you have to take it, and you may end up, just don't repeat cycles, and don't allow this energy to drag you down, okay? But there may be an opportunity to either turn it around or start anew somewhere else, okay? But it does say, where is it? It says all is never lost. This card signifies that it's a time for you to celebrate, okay? Remember to celebrate. And it says sometimes looking at the big picture and all the steps between the beginning and the end can make it seem like you're on an overwhelming endless journey. I can't even read anymore. It says giving yourself moments to enjoy any accomplishment, even if it's just the fact that you're still trying, is reason enough to celebrate. The more that you tap into your gratitude and appreciation, the sooner you will see things moving more quickly in your desired direction. Feel the music of life and dance a little. You're on your way, and you always have been. So one thing that came through by me being down from this area is second line does happen during funerals. Now, you know, it's a transition, right? So if this is an ending, right? Second line, this is the second line card. Some of you, it will be a call to action, a call to attention, a call for you to focus on what you want to be doing with your life and the way you would like to move. Because if you're rejected or asked to step away from something, that's not the dominant energy, but there's a group, maybe even half of you, where that may happen. This is a learning opportunity for you to humble yourself, to be grateful, and also, if there's all of this stuff, a lack of boundaries, all of this personal stuff, a toxic work environment, you needed to start fresh anyway. Okay? You needed to start fresh anyway. And so it's kind of like a blessing in disguise. You get to start fresh, a whole new life without all this baggage, because you can't stay there with all of that. People are gossiping. You may be gossiping. You may possibly made enemies. If you were doing something you weren't supposed to be doing, like you got caught. So there's a lack of trust now. So like, how do you advance in a situation where people don't trust you? Like if that may be what's best. And even if you can turn it around, you may not be able to turn it around completely. So you may eventually move on anyway, just because of how it is, right? Like, who wants to live in that? I know you don't want to live in that pile too, if that's your energy. Those of you where you've listened to all of this, pay attention to your habits, pay attention to your boundaries, because I promise you, the reason why you came in this pile, if you've not lived this, is because you have the potential to end up here, because you're either overly open, overly receptive, thirsty. You know, I don't like to call you that, it's rude, but you know what I mean? Like, lacking boundaries in a variety of ways, right? Whether it's with your personal business or your work, like, you know what I mean? Like, just watch it. Okay. All right. So I am going to close it out here. That is all I have for you today, pile 2. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile 3. So let's look at your job, your career. We're going to look at where you are now versus what's incoming, where you're headed. And yeah, I mean, the 2 piles already have been very different, very long, but very different. So that's good to see that we're not just overly fixating on the same energy here. I think by them being longer, some of you are less likely to watch all of them. So that helps make sure that the messages are diverse. It's interesting. All right, let me see. Tell me about my pile 3. It's the feathery looking one. All right, pile 3. Tell me about your career now versus what is incoming for you, please. I do have this tarot deck. I have my Melanin Pop and my astrology based oracle decks. I did put my Melanin Pop under one of them. So we may do this out of order because when I reset for you, apparently I switched things up. So you may be switching things up soon. Your place of employment may be switching things up soon. Your next job may be something, you know, just in general where you have to switch things up. So let's see. Tell me more about my pile number 3. What's next in their career? All right. I don't know why I'm smacking like that. It's interesting. So you've got the Empress in reverse. This is Taurus energy. It is the second house of assets, of ownership, of stability. I'm getting so much from this card. It's just interesting because like the Empress kind of feels like someone that is very nurturing, very creative, and I'm not saying that's not where you're going to be in this next career or stepping into, but I feel like this is more of a boundary where it's a very fertile, giving, nurturing energy. There's a boundary. Some of you in a shadow sense may be asked to step out of a leadership role, to take a step back for development, which is nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that. Some of you, some of you may decide you don't want to start a business or run a business. You'd rather be in the workforce. Also, nothing wrong with that. You could also be in that current energy. But yeah, I mean, this is very, very interesting energy. Let's see. Let me see what this is. Queen of Shells. Peace, compassion. Some of you are in caretaking roles, as in you are in a role that requires you to nurture, teach. Hence why asked to step out of a leadership role or deciding you no longer want to be a leader, right? You'd rather do something that's fulfilling within yourself, Queen of Shells, or this could be your current energy, right? To prioritize yourself, your own peace. Because some of you are deciding you don't want to be in the medical field anymore. You don't want to be teachers. You don't want to do the things where you have to, daycare. You don't want to do any of those things where you have to nurture and deal with people because you've kind of run yourself dry and you want to focus on you. You want to do something that allows you to be a little more selfish. Very feminine energy coming through, but it doesn't have to be. You're tired of nurturing other people. You want to nurture you. Okay. I didn't expect that energy to come through. Like I said, that's either incoming energy, like where you're headed next, like what fuels that next decision, or where you currently are. You may be doing that now. Okay, let's see. Yeah, shadow is all about control. It says self-empowerment and ambition. Some of you want to make a selfish decision. Okay, some of you want to make a decision that may not be the best decision for your children. If you have children, okay? Especially if people would consider that decision to be selfish with the shadow. That's the devil. Some of you are stepping out of a very, very nurturing energy. You were the Empress. You were very giving, very creative, very fertile, right? Like to nurture and develop. And you stepped into a more selfish energy of not doing that. I don't know what that boundary is or why, but there is a boundary here of being in control. The shadow is Capricorn energy, 2 earth signs. It is career and social status specifically. But it talks about being in control, emotional control. Some of you have more emotional control. You're not lacking. You're going to not be as open and receptive by means of authority. So I do see some of you are stepping out of leadership roles for personal fulfillment, right? Like not wanting to take care of other people so you can focus on yourself. And then others of you are stepping out of a nurturing vibe so that you could be more authoritative in a leadership role. I guess maybe be taken more seriously. You got that 8 of crystals. Dedication and progress, working, building, effort. Okay? Interesting. Efficiency. Some of you are stepping into a very efficient energy. Some of you may be in an energy in workplace currently that's like vibes, because the Empress in reverse could be like vibes, like no organization, no structure or anything when you think about it, because the Empress upright, she's very nurturing, she's very giving, she's very loving, she is a leader. But in reverse, it's like, think it's this maybe not clear leadership. It could be glutinous energy of just doing whatever you want, like no structure, no routine, none of that. And then you have the shadow, the devil of the Eight of Crystals is efficiency. It's working diligently, it's working effectively, it's working hard, but with a purpose towards an end goal, being productive. So some of you are going to have to step out of that vibes energy and then step into like a more routine based, controlled energy. Okay? Whether that's current place or just where you're headed. Transformation. Okay, some of you it's a new place. But that is the death card of transition, of liberation. So there's a lot to talk about with that death card, but it could very well just be the transition of the situation. Some of you could be new leadership, new team, all the things, but there's a transition that is happening at your current place, or the place you'd like to go. Right? The place you're applying to, that you want to go, the next thing you want to do in your career will require a lot more structure, a lot more diligence, right? A lot more discipline than what you're accustomed to. You're going to completely have to turn around your routine and the way you live your life to be effective at it, to enjoy it, okay? Because that is a Scorpio energy. It is inheritances, it's debts. It may be hard. You may step into a situation where it was all vibes and now you have to clean it up, right? Or maybe this is where you are currently, right? So just be prepared for that, whether that's where you are or where you're headed, could very well be, okay? But some type of transition is going to happen, whether that is you leaving where you are to go to the next place and having to adjust after being vibes, or you going there and having to adjust, you know, because it's all vibes there, right? Interesting. Let me pull from this astrology based oracle deck, because I don't know why I put that on top of Melanin Pop. I've not been this is out of order. The deck, this is supposed to be the third deck, not the transformation. That could be resistant. They did fall in reverse, but I'm not taking those. Number 36, the waning crescent. Okay, fading away, but it transforms. So transformation is huge here. So some of you are literally going to get new jobs, completely new jobs. Or your current job, if you're not looking for another one, you're still gonna, it's gonna be like a new job. I mean, I hate to say it that way because that may be a little scary, because it transformed. Death, it's not the same place it was. Like, it's gonna be new. Like, things are changing, especially if with the Empress in reverse. If you had a boss that's like all vibes, that's dead. You know what I mean? You get, unfortunately, the devil now. Not like a literal devil, but someone that is in their power, that is in control, that wants to be productive, that wants to see progress, that wants to see goals reached, versus just vibes, right? You're gonna have to change. Okay, let me see, or like move on, because that is also an option. Reflect in reverse. There's a lot of blockages. Reflect. Okay, transform, reflect on ways you can improve, ways you could be better. Reflect on what it is you actually want in your career. This came out in another pile. Everything fell out in reverse, but I'm not taking those. So blockages, inspirer, activity, stagnation. You've been stagnant, you've been stale, and it's time to move around and act. Okay? What inspires you? Some of you need a new job because the one you're in doesn't inspire you. The Empress in reverse is a lack of fertility, a lack of creativity, a lack of passion, right? Okay, what's at the bottom? Boundaries. Okay, some of you, it's not that you need boundaries. You may, but your place of employment is setting boundaries. Maybe your boss is setting boundaries. Okay. Maybe you're not used to that. Maybe there weren't boundaries before. Maybe, again, I'm getting a vibes energy. Some of you will be stepping into a role either at this place or in a new place where you have to set boundaries, where you have to establish a system, a routine, structure, tangible goals because it's been vibes prior to you getting there. And you're going to have to turn it around, okay? But you can do it with the Aries card, with the Inspirer, right? That is Emperor energy. Because, see, the advice so far, if you are stepping into a leadership role, if you're stepping into a new company in a leadership role, regardless of where you are, if you're stepping into an environment where you have to lead or you're in charge of something or people, you will have to turn it around. It is what it is. That could be you now and you're working through it, whether new or, you know, you're at a point where you're like, is it still worth it? Or if you're trying to move on and do something else, I'm getting an energy of you needing to turn something around. You can do it with the Aries. That's the Emperor, right? The Empress in reverse, you know, is a tangible, it's vibes, right? It's overly emotional. It's a lack of boundaries, all of the things. It's a lack of structure. That is what this place was used to, you know? This place needs Emperor energy, not Empress in reverse energy. And that's why you have the Inspirer. Okay? I'm already getting advice. So if you're currently in the situation, boundaries, set it around, turn it around, structure, accountability, all of those things. You have to change it. It's not sustainable currently. If this is you currently. If this is where you're going, this is me letting you know you have your work cut out for you a little bit. But you can very well do it. You are the person to do it. Okay? All right, Melanin Pop. Tell me about my pile 3. Tell me where my pile 3 is headed. Yeah, red flags. If this isn't what you want, then I'm telling you in advance. But there will be red flags that let you know in advance with the job. So pay attention in the interview. Pay attention, like if you're going to visit places and all of that, because you do have caution, beware, toxic, warnings, and danger. Some of you missed some key red flags during your hiring process. Okay? That you're reflecting on now. Okay? But red flags are here. So some of you, an opportunity you're seeking, be mindful. This may be what you're getting into if this doesn't align with where you are currently. Some of you, this aligns where you are currently. If you haven't cleared that energy, then you may be stepping into a cycle, right? If you didn't clear what you needed to clear there, you may be stepping into that same energy, okay, with red flags. Okay? Let me get more. Tell me more about my pile 3. What's next in my pile 3's career? Tell me more about their situation. That's incoming energy. Ugly sweater. Holiday themes, silly, thoughtfulness, funny. If you are in a leadership role, you are not respected. I need you to know that. Okay? Like they take you for a joke. That's maybe why I'm seeing that energy of you stepping into that or needing to. Maybe you feel that already, so you're stepping into that energy, but they kind of see you as a joke. You're not respected. Okay? If you are looking to step into a leadership role, boundaries are key, because if you step in, when you step in, you have to hit it hard, fast, and structured. Like you can't go in trying to be people's friends. You can't go in trying to be all like nurturing and soft and compassionate. You have to go in firm and clear and direct. Not mean and aggressive, but you have to go in firm, clean, and direct, because Aries is God of war. So you may be stepping into a war zone with this toxic and danger. You may be stepping into a war zone and you have to go in firm and direct so that you clean it up. You may have to go in and fire people. Hence why we have transform and transformation. You will have to fire people. You may have to fire people now. Okay? It is what it is. That's why you have the devil energy. You have to do what you have to do to make this not that toxic environment. You have the word toxic on the table. Okay? Like I'm seeing with red flags and ugly sweater, like the situation you have where I heard that you've created. I don't know what you're doing. Wherever you are, wherever you're going. The situation is so bad. And I don't want to scare you out of wherever you're going. Okay, I'm not saying that, but if you have a specific opportunity in mind, and this is not current energy, the specific one that you are pushing for, that you feel like you're a shoo-in for, that you like really might get, this is why. Okay, don't ignore, reflect on the possible red flags that you've overlooked already. I'm not saying this is an impossible situation. I'm saying it's going to be hard. You're going to have to let people go. You might have to go with the skeleton crew for a while. Like, it is what it is. If you're built for it, you're built for it. It's not going to scare you if you're built for it. And I see a lot of you are. This is Taurus, Capricorn energy. You're solid. You got this if you're willing, right? But this is such a toxic environment. I hate to say it because these are not necessarily bad people. This is not even necessarily the worst situation, but something about the way this energy collaborates with one another. Like, these energies bounce off of each other. It's such a negative situation. I know I keep repeating that line because I can't even believe the way I'm reading it, that they will take a holiday party and make it drama. It'll be Christmas party, like ugly sweater contest, and still drama. Still drama. If this is your present energy, you should leave. If you can't turn it around, you should absolutely leave. That said, if this is new energy, you're gonna have to do whatever you have to do. Let people go, all of the things. You can still have an opportunity to leave. You do. But before, you have to reflect on the red flags that you've ignored so that you don't end up in a situation again, if that's what you do. Okay. I want 2 more from this deck. Show you off. Proud, trophy wife, accomplishments, and status. I get that a lot of people there. I heard that a lot of people there want to be seen, fighting for attention, fighting for praise. Okay. Okay. So now that I've gotten that energy, right, of a lot of you, it's where you currently are. Not in again, could be stepping into it, but regardless, the more positive energy here. Some of you, this may be your past energy, right? Well, because of that, you have discernment. You have boundaries you've reflected, right? You have that more Emperor Aries energy versus a Empress in reverse, not even gender specific. It's energetic, right? So you see red flags a mile away, right? You see them a mile away. But also, I see you knowing how to deal with people and teams more effectively. Like, I see you creating team building exercises that shows people how to collaborate more effectively with 8 of crystals, ugly sweater. Like, this is like a bonding, right? With the ugly sweater, show you off. It's kind of like a competition, but like healthy competition. Like praising people that do a job well done, giving prizes when people, like, not saying bribing people, but you know what I mean? Like, when people do well, they are rewarded for it, right? Some of you could be around Christmas time for you. Others of you, this next role for you will be a role where you're like the face of something, right? Where they kind of make you represent the company, department, right? The team, right? Okay, let me get one more. I did see revenge and gold digger. Some of you are gonna have your come up. Like, you're gonna get, like, not like revenge, but like revenge and gold digger feels like a comeback. So like, if you've been in a hostile environment like that, or if you've been in that environment and you had to leave, or you were asked to leave, whatever your past was, especially if this is chaotic, you're gonna have your comeback season soon. Like, I feel that with those 2 cards that were at the bottom. I love that for you. Maybe that's that shifting of energy, that boundaries, that from the Empress reverse to the Emperor, right? I don't want all of those. At the bottom, you got just friends. It's complicated, platonic, perspective, chance. What is that? Fast, sudden connections, sex, positivity, pleasure. Okay, so here's the thing. Some of you didn't vet these offers, okay? Because the red flag here is, because the ugly sweater is kind of like a theme, as in like a theme is not real, it's like for show. So like, you ignore the red flag of people like acting when you went to tour the place or whatever, you know what I mean? Like acting like, oh, we love it here. Eyes of like, help me. You know what I'm saying? Like show you off. Like there maybe even was like a prize team member that came, they let you talk to, that was like, yeah, man, it's great here, blah, 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 blah. And then like you rushed into it. Like you were there one day, you rushed in, you made your decision immediately, right? And then you got there because, yeah, this says just and you accepted the offer. These are messages, but just friends said it's complicated, right? And you got there and you realize, oh, this is a mess, right? Watch it. And this could be incoming energy. Watch it, okay? Interesting. This is a very, okay, and just friends, one night stand. I don't know what this is. I'm not even, I have no idea what that is and how it relates to work beyond me trying to interpret it that way. Some of you need to ask your friend. If you have friends in a certain setting that you're trying to go in, ask them about it and see what they say. And if you hear what they've been saying already before you try to go there, don't be ignoring the red flags, okay? I'm just trying to see what this is before I move on. We'll get to it. Let me pull. I got 2 more decks. I'll see what that. This is confusing me in career reading. Tell me more about my pile 3. What's incoming for my pile 3? North Node. Oh, okay. What's coming in is your purpose. Some of you, maybe your purpose is to clean something up. It could be, right? If you're up for a challenge, go for it, or leave something behind like that to a more positive situation, or to grow so that you can take your skills elsewhere. But you have the North Node here, and it says destined to have. So you're destined for something great, okay? And I do feel like this, I'm reading it as current situation for most of you. Situation is to put you on your North Node, okay? You've got the 12th house, spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. So 12th house talks about aspects of yourself that you're not aware of. So you may be realizing aspects of yourself in this situation with reflect. You may be meant to transform who you are and how you are there, okay? All right, let me get one more. I'll take the bottom, and we'll further develop this a little bit. It's too many. One more at the bottom, please. Something about 3s, okay? Because that was the second time 3 cards tried to drop. I'm not taking 3 cards. Fire, okay? Confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. That's Aries energy. Watch it though, because Aries, again, I got a war, enemy, it's like fighting, right? And then house 12 is also hidden enemies. So you may have like hidden red flags, hidden enemies where you currently are or where you're going, okay? If this is where you're going, I don't want you to, you have the opportunity to say no. That's why I'm saying pay attention to the red flags and everything. I'm actually hearing, especially if this is somewhere, that's where, especially if this is somewhere where you run into like an ex, or if you run into someone like maybe you had a one night stand with, that'll be a telltale sign. Okay? Or just someone you have a history with, like that'll be a telltale sign that this is what's waiting. Okay? And fire signs are Aries, it's Leo and Sagittarius. And this is Pisces energy. Like I said, if you're up for it, it can turn around, but you have to be built for it. Okay? Because you're probably gonna have to fight, like people are gonna have to get let go, set boundaries. It'll have to be completely turned around, like, Neptune, like La La Land, more house 12 energy. It says dream and transcend. Right? Neptune, 12th house energy is not seeing things clearly. It's not seeing it for what it is. So it's like you may not even realize what it is until you get into it. That's what I'm seeing. So if this is where you are currently, like, I don't know. like I said, you can turn it around or you can move on. I'm getting that you can turn it around, okay? It's going to be very difficult though. Let me get this. I'm going to get advice. I am going to get advice in the deck after this. I'm going to pull 2, maybe 3 from this deck so I can get more, because I don't know what to tell those of you that like this is present energy, because like those of you where you watch it, because it could be incoming energy, like you know what it is what it is, and like it's part of your life path to learn yourself and to challenge you to grow and evolve and become a better not only more effective and efficient and productive, but like to be a good leader down the line. So because I'm getting the heavy leader role here for you. Tell me more about pile. Where is pile 3 going in terms of their career? Please tell me where pile 3 is going. Okay, I think these are maturing energies. It's time to take action. Aries again. Okay, this is all about self and identity. Self and identity. Aries, Aries, Aries. This is all about finding yourself. This is rising sign energy, ascendant energy of how you look, who you are, how you present yourself to the world. Okay, it's time to take action, but they're saying what's coming in is for you to go. You have to be aggressive, you have to be direct, you have to be firm, you have to be the god of war, and like you have to take it on if this is what you want. Okay, but Spirit says it's time to take action. Go for it, do it, and make the shift, make the changes. Especially if this is where you currently are, because as it's being maturing energy, it's saying where you are, act. Okay. The energy is building, gaining momentum with waxing moon. It's a gaining moon. It's a new era and a new moon of the first sign, right? And then we're building up to that full moon. We're waxing. Build it up from the ground up. You can do it. That is what Spirit says for those of you that are currently in a situation. Honestly, those of you that may be stepping in, just letting you know that it's not sunshine and rainbows, okay? It's really not. But when you clean it up, it will be great. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces, more Pisces energy of the things that you cannot see. A lot of you, there are things around you that you do not even realize are happening where you are currently. This is also advice to not make a decision in something that is not clear. If you do not have all of the facts, if you cannot see everything about the situation, do not go. Do not take it. Okay? Like it says, take action. The energy is gaining momentum, but it's saying do so with clarity. Because there's a lot of unclear, like a lack of clarity here. That's why you have spirituality and practicality. Like some of you may need to divine as well as use your logical mind before making these decisions. Okay? Some of you may work in mental health facilities, in psychology, psychiatry, in prisons. What else rules? There's a lot of things that are ruled by the 12th house. Okay? But yeah, take action. The energy is gaining momentum, and balance spirituality and practicality. You can do it. You will be very successful. This is a step towards what you're wanting overall in your life. But again, balance spirituality and practicality says it will teach you boundaries. It will teach you balance. Okay, you will transform and develop. It's all about development. What is my advice for my pile 3s? Self-care. So here's what I'm going to take the bottom a second. If this place is wearing down your mental health, or if when you get there, you feel like it will wear down your mental health, leave. Okay. Take action. The energy is gaining momentum, balance. Go where you need to take balance. And unfortunately for this pile, there is no clear path. Maybe it'll be at the bottom of this, New Orleans Oracle deck, but it's not telling you where to go. It's just saying to prioritize your mental health. That's all it's saying, okay? Because that's why you have all of these mental health themes of the Pisces energy, that 12th house energy, that Neptune-based energies of all of those illusions. But you have self-care, number 19, all of the chakras aligned. There's another pile where there was a card that aligned those chakras, okay? With the card, what does this say, number 12? Self-care says it's time to put your focus into taking care of yourself in the most basic ways. Pampering yourself with a long bath, taking extra care about the food you put into your body, getting enough rest, and simply taking some time for yourself is recommended right now. You are close to running on empty, and it's taking a toll on you more than you realize. Sometimes self-care can be as simple as learning when to say yes or no at the right moment based on how you feel. Boundaries and also discernment and decision making. Okay, it says take this time to care for yourself and notice how quickly things start to fall into place in a much more effortless way. Wherever you will feel like your cup is watered, like I don't need, that's not a phrase, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Wherever you feel like you will be able to take care of yourself and be healthy, that's what you should prioritize. Okay, whether that's leaving the job you're at because of all the mess, whether that is not taking a job because you have the discernment of seeing the red flags before you get wrapped up into the mess. Okay, some of you will be called to take a more spiritual approach to your career. Some of you will go you're leaving a place and going somewhere that prioritizes mental health. That's where you're going. That's why I can't see it. Where you're going next is going to be, it's probably going to be different for all of you. Some of you may be working in the mental health field. You may be working like somewhere where like a retreat. You may be working like spa. You may be working in self-care based fields next if you haven't been already. Okay. Some of you, I mentioned that spiritually enriched practices, right? Like some of you may take a leap of faith and start your own spiritual business, or you may join a spiritual business. That may be where you're headed next. But wherever you're headed next, if you don't persevere through this, and spirit is kind of, depending on where you fall, spirit is saying it's not that serious, let it go. You may be stepping into something that is more aligned with your self-care, especially your mental health, okay? Patience. Okay, number 13, 12, 13 steps. Okay, so I got 2 clear messages, and you'll have to decide where you fall, pile 3. Either let it go and find something that is more critical to your self-care, right? Like some of you are like, yeah, challenge accepted. Like if you don't have a history of being run down and you have all the energy in the world, spirit is saying you've been resting, especially if you were at a place where it was vibes and now you're in this chaos. It's saying you're well rested for this. This is what you've been practicing for. That's why you were at vibes. You were vibing so that you could be ready for war. You were peak health, right? So that you can go in. Just make sure you have a structure, a routine for yourself. Do what you have to do. Make the changes you have to make. Be patient with yourself, right? Like don't try to go all at it one day. Don't try to like flip everything around in one day. Like make sure you prioritize your self-care in the process and be patient as you build this up, as you correct the situation. Okay. Now, if you're already in it, you've been in it, you run down, you're tired, it's exhausting, you can tell it's taking a toll on your health, especially your mental health. Self-care is your priority. Be patient with yourself. If you need to move around, 1, 2 steps, okay? Number 13, it says, a tree needs time to grow after it is planted, and the same can be said for our best laid plans. By simply doing what is in your power and then having some faith and letting go, you will see the fruits of your labor come to pass one step at a time. This card has shown up in your reading because you are eager for results and your patience has worn thin waiting for them. Take stock of all your actions. It may be that you've already done all that is within your power, and now it is time to let nature take its course. So I'm gonna be honest with you, pile 3. Those of you where you've been chilling and now you're in a situation where it's chaos, you're like, build it. You have to do it. It's saying take your time, prioritize, do not let your self-care fall off. You know, the universe let you be vibes for a while so that you would be in peak health to persevere through this. Don't fall off your routine, your health, your wellness. Keep that up while you patiently, slowly build steps. 12, 13 steps. 1, 2. It's gonna take time. As long as you're actively building, you're gonna get there. But do not fall off, because your well-rested state is what made you perfect for what you're stepping into. That said, if you are run down and you're tired, or even if you're not just physically exhausted, you're mentally tired of being in the environment that you're in, Spirit says to be patient. Your opportunity will come. I'm not even allowed to see your opportunity. Notice we have all of these 12th house themes of things you're not allowed to see. I'm not even allowed to see your next opportunity. What's supposed to happen is as you prioritize yourself, as you set boundaries with this job, this career, you set boundaries. That is what you're supposed to be doing right now, Pile 3, if you're in a negative situation or not where you want to be. You set those boundaries. You take the necessary action and let your energy build back up, right? Self-care is the action you're meant to be taking to gain your energy, to be patient, to heal, to get your mentality back where it needs to be so that when the opportunity comes that's next for you, you're ready for it. You're not still in this negative energy of where you've been, okay? So like I said, it's coming. But the only way that it's going to come and it's not going to feel like it's taken a long time is for you to do things that you enjoy, right? Because the Empress in reverse is also someone that doesn't allow themselves pleasure, that likes to actively control with the Devil card upright. Okay, so you need to find things that inspire you with that Aries energy. Balance spirituality and practicality. Go out and live life and enjoy it as best you can. And it doesn't have to be like going out and like celebrating. It means if taking rest and taking space for your mental health is what you need, then do that. Be patient with yourself as you heal and get where you need to be. And then the opportunity is going to come in for your career next, okay? So that is all I have for you today, Pile 3. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know with the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, Pile 4, let's see your career reading. We're going to look at where you are versus where you're going, and let's look at it. I've got this tarot deck. I've got my melanin pop for some details. I've got my astrology-based oracle decks that we can go ahead and get some clarity. And I will pull from my New Orleans Oracle deck for some advice at the end. So tell me, my final Pile 4, tell me what's going on with their career and what's incoming for them. All right. It flowed out with ease. So don't force anything. Just let it come to you, okay? Just let it come to you. Am I holding this upside down? I'm not. Ooh. Okay, so you've got the Queen of Acorns in reverse. That also talks about not forcing things, because the Queen of Acorns is very passionate. It is someone that could have a tendency of chasing things and opportunities. Don't do that. Just let it come to you, okay? Pull back your energy, especially if you're in a chaotic energy environment. Pull back your energy so far, right? That's what we're getting. Because right now it says passion and creativity. If you're in an environment that's not conductive to your energy, pull back. Don't let people drain you. Don't let situations drain you. Pull back your creative energy. Pull back your passion. Keep yourself, stay to yourself if that's what's necessary. Okay? But don't chase an opportunity. It's going to come to you. I can already see that very clearly. I promise. All right? Look at that. Knight of Acorns. Action and drive. So there is something you should be chasing. But it's not your current energy. It's not your current situation. All right. Some of you, don't give all of your ideas. Like, do your job, do your work, do everything you need to do, but don't overshare your creative ideas. Like, give them just enough, but don't give them all of your creative ideas. All right, just enough. Some of you need to be less of a Queen of Acorns and more of a Knight. Like, don't give all of your expertise. Don't give all of your knowledge. Like, they may not pay enough. That may not be what you need to do. They may just be taking, you know what I mean? Like, that may be above, like if it's above your pay grade, especially, just do what you get paid to do. Okay? All right. Need more. What's going on? Ooh, and I'm gonna take it how it fell, because I don't know that I've ever had cards fall like that, because like the way that they fell, they came out together, but I would have naturally taken this one first, but it threw itself over here. So I'm gonna take it last. Transitioning. 6 of Feathers. Transition, insight. This is hilarious. You've got the 10 of Crystals. Stability, attainment. Some of you discreetly pull back your energy, right? I said it's gonna come to you. That's a half truth. Don't chase burnout, okay? Don't burn out, okay? looking for something new, okay? Like, and don't force things. Like, don't take anything. Don't just go for everything. Be discerning. Because right now I'm saying pull back your energy in your current job with the Queen of Acorns reverse, right? Like, pull back your energy. Do your job. Don't be all passionate. Don't be all creative. Do your job. Do what you get paid to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Your energy needs to be on action, drive, to leave. And where you're going, ooh, it's the 10 of crystals. That's a family environment. That's either a business. That's like if we're talking about a company, this is a company that is truly a family environment, not that toxic thing they put on the job listings. Like, it's truly like it's going to not only be an environment that like builds you, develops you, and grows you, but it's gonna pay a lot of money. It's gonna pay family money, generational. Like, it's gonna lead you. Is going to put you in a position to attain generational wealth. Whether it's by the free time you'll have so that you can do whatever other projects you have, whether it is because that potential of that money you're going to make, whether we're talking about bonuses, compensations, all of the things, it just sets you up for that 10 of crystals, the stability that you didn't even think you could have. But right now, if you've been questioning what to do in your current situation, this is so clear. I feel like every pile had a very long story about, okay, this is where you are, and let's try to see where you're going. Spirit doesn't even care about, listen, where you at, it does not matter. Do your job. What you get paid to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't be volunteering for side projects. Don't be trying to get promoted. This is not where you're meant to be. All right, pile 4? You need to be focusing your energy on whatever you're building that's going to give you generational wealth, or you need to be focused on leaving to attain whatever that money is, okay? All right, at the bottom, 4 of shells, exactly, disengage. Wow, that's crazy. Soul searching, reevaluation. Where you are is not it. This is, I don't know that there's another pile. If you picked another pile, maybe a little more convoluted, but if this is your pile, this is not it. It's like, just disengage. Do what you're supposed to do and nothing less, nothing more. Okay, it's time to move on. Right now. Knight of Acorns is racing out the door. Like don't get let go or anything like that. And I don't see that you will. But just do what you do the bare minimum. Do what you have to do. And nothing more, nothing less. I keep saying it because I need you to understand that. Your energy needs to be on leaving. I don't think it could be a toxic environment. It could be. I don't get that for this pile. You may be coming from other piles where that was the toxic environment, right? You're in a toxic environment, and here I'm telling you how to get out. You might be, right now I might be giving you a clear direction. If you pick 2 piles, get out. But if this is your only pile, you might just be chilling. Honestly, some of you, like, especially with the passion and creativity in reverse, it's not a lot of activity. You might just be chilling. It might not be hard, just something that passes the time, pays. And in that free time you have, be ready to move around. Okay, pile 4? That's literally what I'm seeing. That's crazy. Disengage. Okay, so let me see what Melanin Pop has to say. Tell me about my pile 4. We're 6 minutes in and it already says move on to something else. I am hearing not to overexert yourself regardless in whether you're looking for something else or doing this. Like, most of your energy should be on leaving, but you still shouldn't be burned out, okay? That's a very clear message for you, pile 4. So tell me more about my pile 4. Where are they going since it's clear you need to leave? Where's my pile 4 headed? It's a maturing energy, slow and steady. Wise, planning, meticulous, careful, and delays. Okay, if you've been experiencing delays, because the Queen of Acorn could also be a delay, it's going to pick up very, very quickly. Okay? Some of you've been moving slow, taking your time, and this is a call to stop doing that. Like, really be paying attention to getting out of the situation you're in, or moving on to something else, or be making time for whatever you need to be working on or working towards, okay? But if you've been experiencing delays, just know that it's for a reason. I don't know what that reason is yet, I'm not gonna lie, but I know that the delays have been for a reason, okay? Some of you where you are now is a delay. Like it's a temporary thing. Like some of you got like a temporary job, possibly after like getting let go or something like that. And like it's temporary. It's a job because you needed one, right? Not where you're meant to stay or linger. All right. Tell me more about my pile 4. Where's my pile 4 headed? Honestly, with this card, you may still be moving on to another slow-paced environment. Everything about this is slow-paced. Like, so if you're not in a slow-paced environment, you may be moving into something very slow-paced, which is funny. Tell me more about my pile 4. Individuality. And it took a while to get that card. Too slow-paced, I'm telling you. Individuality, it says expressive, artistic, unique, fashion, courageous, and trendsetter. So you're gonna be, that's why you need to hold your energy. Like take your time, like because where you're going, you're gonna express that energy. Or if you have a business you're gonna start, you're gonna use all of that creative energy on your business, right? But I'm hearing very clearly, do not use all of your energy, all of your creative endeavors, all of your ideas at this current job. Save it for the next opportunity. Interesting. Like this is meant to be slow and steady, especially if you're in a slow paced environment. Like it's meant to be slow. Take your time. Tell me more about my pile 4. Where's my pile 4 going? Slow and steady, individual. You can do what you want. Tell me more about my pile 4. Incoming energy, peak, mountain. So you're reaching your peak. Okay, it does say elevation, peak, climbing, and transcendence. This is not like a mountain to climb energy. This is reaching a peak. So your opportunity is coming in very soon. If it's, I'm telling you, you've been experiencing delays, setbacks. If you're like, when's it gonna come? I've been getting all kinds of rejections. It's for a reason. Okay, I still don't know the reason, but I know that you're meant to. Maybe it's for rest. Because your key themes are pull back your energy. Do not exert your energy where you currently are. Do what you get paid to do, not more, not less. Because so that you can chase the door, right? Like slow down here, and then you'll be able to apply all of your energy there. So maybe it's rest, right? Like a slow climb, but a peak is coming. You will transcend. You are going to be elevated. Things are moving even if you can't see them. Let me get one more. And take the bottom. Tell me more about where pile 4 is going. You're reaching your peak. I'll say that. Ugly sweater. Holiday. Wait, I'm like trying. The lighting is not good here now. Holiday themes. Silly, thoughtfulness, and funny. Where you're going is going to be fun. You're always going to be chasing a new goal, a new project, like a new milestone. Like some things, like with this new job that was incoming, you're going to constantly be elevated. Like you're going to constantly be building. That's why you have the 10 of crystals. It's going to be always something new to achieve and accomplish, but it's not going to be like a hard work ethic. It's going to be fun. It's going to not feel like work. Like it's going to feel like a game with ugly sweater, like a competition, like a fun, like team competition. Okay, some of you, this next job, you may be active with your team. Like you may climb, hike with this team. Like that may be some of your team building activities. You may race or jog. You know what I'm saying? Like races and stuff like that as team building, right? At the bottom, you have secret admirer. Ooh, crush, stranger, love, daydreaming, surprises. You're not gonna see it coming. You may not even see it coming. Some of you may get recruited for something that you didn't see coming. Okay? Yeah. I can see, I'm trying to see, some of you may apply for one thing, get an offer for another thing you didn't see coming. Others of you, I did mention, let it come to you. Like someone watching you, not necessarily like actively watching you, but like comes across your information. Or a reference, refers you, right? Some of you, this may be present energy, and then it's still meant to be temporary, slow pace. Let me see with this astrology based oracle. That was quick. I love it. Look how quick that is. Okay, you can't see because the lighting is not, hold on. I've never had it at this weird angle before, but you do have rejuvenate. And when I say this weird angle, I've not filmed. It's been a while since I've filmed in this lighting, so bear with me. But rejuvenate, that's why. That's why. You're supposed to be rejuvenating yourself, like right now. Okay? As you get ready to charge ahead. Okay, pile 4. Guidance. Gaining wisdom. Right? This is also a sign of, okay, this is your guidance. Okay, I think I want 4 to keep it clean and even. And there's 2, I'll take the bottom. When you know, don't hesitate. Because I'm not hesitating on these cards if you notice. I'm not waiting for them to jump. When I feel it, I feel it. And then you have the solar eclipse. Not going to see it coming. Threshold. You're almost there. It's coming high. Okay? And look at that corn moon abundance, y'all. It's been a while since I've been able to say this because I haven't done a career reading in a long time. But Pile 4, do not forget to tip me. Because this 10 of crystals and abundance, like you're like chilling so that you can chase abundance. Like you're about to have abundance soon. And it landed on the 10 of crystals. Like you're about to come into money. And not just money, but like wealth. Okay? And it's going to be something you're passionate about that you enjoy. Okay? You got the bottom, Aries energy, the inspirer. You're going to be very inspiring to other people, but you're going to feel very inspired within yourself. And that is also the first house of the ascendant, the identity, who you are and how you present yourself to the world. So you will feel exactly in your element naturally where you're headed. Okay? Right now, you're just supposed to be resting, pulling back your energy, doing what has to happen and not a second, not more, not less, just what has to happen. Okay? Because your energy, you need to be rejuvenating your energy so that you're ready to chase this bag. All right? So let me pull from these last 2 decks and I'll take my advice after. So tell me more about my pile 4. Pile 4. Where is pile 4 going? All of you may be in different like fields because I didn't get any specific energy beyond activity, like maybe outdoors based, could be like fitness, maybe could be activity, could be very competitive, but yet no, you got Mercury. Think, learn, network, and communicate. Okay, and then communication, messages are coming in. Mercury, that's Gemini, Virgo energy. Messages are coming in for you. Even if you haven't like felt like it's gonna come, like messages are coming in for you very, very quickly. You just don't see it coming with that threshold card, that solar eclipse. You can't see it. Like if the sun is blocked right now, but you're almost there. Earth, more earth energy. I say that because 10th house, not 10th house, the 10 of crystals is here. And then we've got Virgo on the table. Okay? But we do have, bear with me, y'all. I don't even know why I'm at this angle, how I ended up at this angle. But anyway, that is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. But it says persistence, patience, and practicality. Be patient, be persistent, right? Don't stop applying if you're not getting what you want. Like you keep applying. You're supposed to be chilling. Why are you rushing? It seems like you're in a comfortable situation where you can just, for the most part, chill. Don't do too much, right? Just don't do too much. Do just enough. And be patient as you rejuvenate your energy, okay? Be smart about it. Be grounded. Okay? Formulate a routine. Your attention to detail. I'm not taking all of those. I just want one more. Tell me one more for, yeah. And look, Mercury, which is Virgo. Earth, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And then we got Virgo, a lot of earth, stable ground. Where you are now is stable. Don't worry. If you're worried, don't worry about it. You're stable right now. But that said, Spirit doesn't want you to get too comfortable there. Like, doesn't want you to stagnate in that 4 of shells, the slow and steady Queen of Acorns is a lack of creativity, a lack of passion. Spirit does not want you to stay there for very long, right? Do what you need to do, but you should be looking to move around, okay? With the house 2, it is assets, more of that stable energy. So some of you may even buy a house soon. You may make investments soon, because it says physical security, possessions, material values, and self-worth. Currently, you're stable. You're financially stable. The job's not bad. It's not where you're meant to stay. Just don't do too much. Okay, I repeat that because it's key. It's important while you wait on this next opportunity. Like you're good where you are, but what's coming in is even better. You'll be fulfilled. You'll be passionate. You'll enjoy it. Okay. Look at just like, I'm going to take the bottom, but I'm going to take this too. Incoming energy of Jupiter. You got so much luck coming. Grow and expand. Oh my gosh, that's Sagittarius, 9th house. You may travel soon. You may move soon. I mentioned a home. Like Jupiter is all about abundance and luck, and it's very expansive, loud, large energy. So if things feel quiet, things feel small, things feel slow, not for very long, especially since this card forced itself into the reading. Like that's what's coming in for you. It's going to be very, very quick. You've got house 11, more networking energy. It's Aquarius energy. It says friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. You're going to be connecting into an environment that is very, very, that 10 of crystals energy. You're going to love your coworkers. You're going to love your boss. You're going to love the company. You're going to love your business if it's your business. Like you're going to be very, very happy. It's going to be a community. You're stepping into a community very soon. Okay. Especially if you're not feeling like where you're at. Like this feels like my pile of people that just have a job that's looking for a career. You're going to find that. Okay. Especially if you want to be involved in like the community, if you want to be involved in like team member groups and relations, like this is that pile where you're going to get that, like group projects and team member like bonding and like, you know what I mean? Like, you know how like they have like the events for team members at companies and such. Like I see that. Okay. So let me get from this last deck, and then we'll get our advice from the New Orleans Oracle. This is my calmest pile, I will say. Like you're just chilling and waiting for your next thing. Don't be impatient. You're fine. Tell me more about my pile 4s. Okay. See how easy all 3 of them came out? Be bold and make the first move. That's cardinal move. So go after what you want. Like apply for the jobs you want for sure. If you were questioning it, you should not be after the way I've been talking to you, but it's also cardinal signs. That is Aries, that's Libra, that's Cancer and Capricorn. So beginning of the next season could be a relevant timeline for you. This is a timeless reading. So whenever the next season starts for you, that is when you'll get some type of clarity. Okay. So if you're watching it real time, I know, I'm sorry, it's foggy. If you're watching it real time, the next season for you will be Libra season. I think I said it in a different pile. Okay, look at you. Communication's key. You've got Gemini, lots of air sign energy. Okay, it's 3rd house, short travels, messages. And then secret admirer, this may be relevant. Ooh, expect powerful change. Ooh, new moon eclipse. So you've got 2 eclipses on the same eclipse twice, right? So eclipse could be relevant, but powerful change. Threshold, you're almost there. It's going to be very shocking, very surprising. You won't see it coming. Okay? You won't see it coming, but it will be a message. It says nothing will come up the situation. Void of course moon. Just chill. Where you are, if you've been questioning, oh, maybe I could just stay where I'm at. It's not that bad. Spirit does not want you. There is nothing that will come of the situation. It's stable. It's fine. You're good. Don't worry about it. But you'll go stale there, right? You'll waste away there. Like I said, it feels like a job versus career. Like it may be dead end. It may just not be fulfilling for you. You may be losing passion because you're doing the same tedious things day to day. But nothing will come of the situation. Don't worry about it. But you can't stay there. Okay. You can't stay there. So like I said, make the first move. Communication is key. Make it very clear. Like go where you're trying to go. Like apply where you're trying to apply. Seek the opportunities you're seeking. Your energy should be on seeking opportunities, not working this job. Like 30 to 40% of your energy working in this job, and the other like 60 to 70% should be getting away from it and obviously rest in between. But that's what I'm getting. So give me my advice. Gosh, this is even the shortest pile. It's just so direct. Give me my advice for my pile 4. Give me advice for pile 4, please. One card, please. Give me advice for pile 4. You see how, yes you can, how this card just slowly started to turn on its own without me having to force it? That's what's going on in your situation. It's slowly going to start turning on its own without you having to force it. So I'm going to take the bottom in a second, but what is this? Companionship. Ooh. Hang out with your friends. Network. Hang out with your professional network. Like it's saying companionship. It's I think your friends may actually be a big part in this, right? Some of you, like your friends may be a big role in where you're going. Others of you, if you chase companionship, if you seek a positive environment, if you seek a collaborative environment, if you're seeking a specific type of environment, when you're getting it, but lead with that energy of seeking companionship. Okay, because it feels like where you're at now, it's stable, it's good, most people would be fine, but you need something that's going to make you feel passionate. Maybe you're not in a team environment that allows you that passion, that allows you that collaboration, that connection you'd like. And Spirit says to seek that. So let me see what number 16 says. It says, many times when we think of companionship, we immediately think of romantic connections. However, quite often the most fulfilling and enjoyable relationships that we experience are through platonic connections. Yep. It says at this time you will find a healing energy through companionship with others. Allow yourself to create and experience new ways to connect with people. Perhaps joining a group of like-minded people to enjoy activities such as yoga, painting, dancing, or traveling would be a good place to start out. All of the things that I said you may do with the people you'll be working with next, right? And it says, healing through the sharing of non-romantic love can come in many forms. It's time to be open in all the ways that loving companionship can come into your life. So you will be joining a community soon. Okay? Some of you where you're not really that driven, if you're not looking to do anything, you are looking for a job. Job is fine. Your job is fine. It says just stop overextending and go out and enjoy your life. You're fine where you're at. If you're not seeking more career-wise, you're good. Okay? If anything, through all of these other things, you'll find the community you're seeking. It's community you're seeking if you're fine with just having a job. Now, if you're seeking something more in your career, Spirit says to get ready to pack up and go. And along with that, you'll find I'm actually getting big business for you. I'm not getting so much as if you are an entrepreneur or owning of your business, you're going to be joining professional networks soon. And that may be what helps expand your business, because that's what I'm getting. Because I'm getting big business. I'm getting a lot of people. I'm getting communities of people. Okay. So that's going to be very relevant to your next job. All right. So let's see what's at the bottom and then we'll close this out. Keep going. They do not want you staying there. So like I said, if you're that person that's the job is what I want, you may be ignoring the call to be more. You may be ignoring the call to be more, especially if you're fine with your job and you should be starting a business, right? A side hustle. That may be what it's calling you to do. Now, outside of that, if you are like not, you're like, this is not it, it's fine, whatever. Don't keep going. Okay? Keep going. It's like pull back your energy, like chase. Secret admirer kind of feels like do kind of on a low, like don't be all loud about it. Be loud where you can, but like not at your current job, but keep going. Okay. Yeah, she's literally, ironically enough, she's taken off her heels and she's like walking off with the briefcase on the card. So let me see what it says. And we'll close this out. It says, there are many times when we feel like we've had enough, done enough, and been through enough. These feelings of frustration are reminders that we are not yet where we want to be, but we are on our way. And it says to take a moment to count the small milestones that are contributing to the bigger picture. Sometimes we can be so focused on where we are not that we forget just how far we've come. Right now, it's important that you continue to move forward no matter how small the steps may seem. You are on the right track and success will be inevitable. But if you allow yourself to dwell on the negative thoughts or put your energy into things that you cannot control, then you most likely buy into the illusion of being stuck, and it will be harder for you to move forward. Keep going. I did see a stuck energy. So some of you may feel stuck. I said, do what you have to do and then focus your energy on getting out. But I did say earlier not to obsess over it. Don't overly fixate on it. Like, let opportunities and all of that come to you. Right now, what you need to be doing is socializing and hanging out in your community, whatever community is to you, your friend groups, your professional network, socializing, clubs, activities. You need to be doing those things, and the opportunity, I continue to chase the opportunities, but like, I feel like there will be an opportunity that you may not even be seeking that finds you because you're like not waiting for it. Okay, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna close it out right here for you, pile number 4. Hopefully it resonated, and if it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching.